out the top drawer. That's because back in Victorian times, if you had wealth, valuable stuff, you kept it in the top drawer of your dresser. So loaded families became known as top drawer. Remember the last time your team left you feeling as sick as a parrot? The image of the sick bird is thought to come from a classic British comedy moment, Monty Python's Dead Parrot sketch. But the phrase was first used in football by Liverpool defender Phil Thompson. He supposedly said it after Liverpool lost to Nottingham Forest in the 1978 League Cup final. Forest won thanks to a controversial penalty given away by a Thompson foul, even though it was actually outside the box. Poor guy said he felt sick as a parrot afterwards. Is there anything more embarrassing than a nutmeg in football? Weird name, but it's actually related to the trading of nutmeg, the spice. It was so expensive back in the day that corrupt exporters used to try and mix in a bit of wood in with the nutmeg to cut their costs. The term soon became slang. If you were nutmegged, it was because the person you were buying off had pulled a fast one on you. Jose Mourinho brought a lot of things to English football, and seems like one of those was the phrase "park the bus." He used it after his Chelsea side had been held to a goalless draw by Spurs in 2004. Tottenham had been extremely defensive, not trying to score, but making sure Chelsea couldn't either. Mourinho actually said, "They brought the bus and left the bus in front of the goal," as we say in my country. Finally, another phrase that actually comes from cricket. Footballers are said to have missed a sitter if they miss an easy chance. In the late 19th century, it was used in cricket to describe a moment when a fielder failed to take a catch which was so easy they should have been able to catch it sitting down. So there you have it, some of your favourite footballing cliches. And if you think this video is all over, well, it is now.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Build your own car deal online or with just a few clicks. They make buying your next car easy. I'm Natalie Sawyer and back at talkSPORT Towers for the first time since the 18th of July.
Is that right?
Oh, what an entrance. What a way to welcome you back. Does this sound familiar?
No, it doesn't, Natalie. What is this?
This is the Singapore national anthem.
Oh, is it? Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Obviously didn't play
What a place. I didn't hear that when I was in Singapore. But,
we should say you were out there with Arsenal.
I was indeed, yeah. Had a really, really lovely time.
Yeah.
It's always a great place to go. I don't know if you've ever been there.
Never. I've heard it's lovely.
You've got to visit there. It's such a great. It's really compact. It's really lively. And there's a little bit of everything there. So I love going to Singapore. I'm very lucky to be there quite a few times. And every time it's a little bit humid. The weather's a little bit, it's sticky, if you know what I mean. But other than that, it's such a great place to go. Great nightlife, Natalie.
I knew
Which
we were
is the
getting to
most
that
important
part.
thing.
Yeah. But in terms of the reception for Arsenal, what were the fans like out there?
Well, they've been to America for the last 2 years, and it's amazing to see how many fans they have around the world. Look, Manchester United be the same, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea, all these sides have a big following around the world. And it's just nice that a team can go out there and they can see him in the flesh, if you know what I mean. And the open training sessions were brilliant. It really was. Like 10, 12, 15,000 people turn up just to watch the training.
Yeah.
And it's a real buzz for the players as well, because it's like you train every day, behind closed doors, no one sees it. But when you train in front of a support, and you can see all the fans really enjoying it, and just signing a few autographs here and there for the players' point of view, it's a dream come true for a lot of the fans. So I was really pleased they went to Asia, because they've got a massive following out there, and obviously more money probably they can make in America. But this year they went to Singapore, then on to Hong Kong, had some really good games out there. And I think it's a brilliant place to go. And, I should imagine they will go back to America next year. But it's just nice that they went to Asia and the Asian supporters, which is, they've got so many out there, you don't realise. And the English Premier League is such a big pull for all people around the world that, they pack the stadium out, definitely.
Yeah. And I imagine to an extent, they might not even be Arsenal fans, but they might be fans of individual players. You'll find that as well.
Absolutely. What they do really well as well, they wear the colours. When you go to a game in the Premier League, and you might get 1 in 5 people wear Brentford shirts or Arsenal shirts or whatever, but out there they just mad on the, wearing the Arsenal shirt, wearing some sort of part of an Arsenal kit. And it's great to see, really. I mean, America's the same, I must admit. I went to Arsenal Manchester United in America a couple of years ago, and every single person had either a Man United shirt on or an Arsenal shirt on, and they sell out all the products, and it's amazing, really, what the market is out sort of around the world for the Premier League and the clubs itself.
Don't show that to Rory Jennings. Did you hear what he had to say about?
What did he say?
He said grown adults shouldn't be wearing football shirts to football games.
Don't they?
No, that's what he thinks.
It's your choice, but it's nice that people really do embrace. And some of the kits now are superb, aren't they?
I know.
It's like I could go out a night out, not even go to a football match.
They are like fashionable, aren't
It's
they?
fashionable. It's good to wear. I mean, some of the kits, especially, I've been lucky to wear some of the kits myself back in the day. Even that bruised banana one, which I made my debut on. I remember when it first came out, and everyone's going, "Oh, look, he can't wear that kit. It's awful."
Yeah.
But now it's iconic.
Viral now.
It's iconic.
Absolutely.
You can't get them.
Absolutely. I tell you what also went viral, Ray. I don't know if you saw it. Was a photo of you on social media.
Was it?
Where you're having clearly you're imparting your wisdom to the 15-year-old wonder kid that is Max Dowman. I don't know if you remember this particular moment, but
I do.
Oh, do you? So what were you saying to him?
No, I just said well done, because he played against AC Milan, and I thought he's done so well when he come on, and he's more or less saying, do you know what he said to me? He said, "Well, I could have done a little bit better in certain parts of the game." I went, "Wait a minute, Max, you're 15 and a half years old. You're playing for Arsenal first team. Don't expect too much. Just go out and express yourself, enjoy yourself." And he's such a well-grounded young man. And it's really funny because I was in a bar in the area of the stadium, and this guy and a woman come up and said, "Oh, Ray, it's a long way from Billericay, isn't it?" Which is round the corner to me. And I went, "Yeah, it is." And I didn't know who they was. I thought they're just supporters. And I went, "Oh, I'm Max Dowman's dad." And he was Max because he lives probably in a radius of me, about probably 6 or 7 miles away. And I just said, "Oh, you must be very proud." And he was in tears when he come on and make his. And it's a dream come true because they see him all growing up through the academies. Can they ever get into that first team? Especially this day and age, because it's a lot harder to get into that first team now because of the players and how many players they've got. So I was very proud of seeing another player come through the academy. There's a long way to go. I said to him, "Look, keep your feet on the ground, work hard. That's the most important thing. You haven't made it yet, but if he can keep going the way he's going, he's going to be one of the best around for the English football."
But you're so right about how difficult it is to break in now to first. Because
so difficult.
We know now Premier League teams want ready-made players. They don't have the time necessary to nurture. But if you can make the breakthrough, we've seen it with Bukayo Saka. If you can, that is just incredibly special for everybody involved, fans as well.
Well, Skelly's another one.
Yeah, of course.
Ranieri.
Yes.
So there's quite a few youngsters. And what Mikel Arteta, he gets him into training sessions. That's what he's done. And if he sees enough in a player, he will keep pushing him in, pushing, and give him opportunities. And it's all down to the player then to keep improving, keep working hard. And as I said before, if you can learn off people like, he can learn off people like Declan Rice and guys like that. It's a little bit like Phil Foden. Do you remember when why don't he go on loan? Why don't he go on? Pep Guardiola was saying, "Well, wait a minute, he's playing with De Bruyne and people like that. He can improve by playing with David Silva and top class players in training every day." And that's how they nurtured him through. So I'm sure Max will be very, very similar, but he will start a game this year. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, really?
I think his birthday's in December. He's 16 in December. But I can see him playing a part this year. I thought he's very good. Every time I've seen him play, he's made something happen. which is, as a number 10, he's got that little change of pace. When he drops his shoulder, goes past someone on it with his left foot. Very, very dangerous. So I expect him to really, really flourish. And there's a long way to go. It's one of them. You expect. I don't want to put too much expectation on him.
Yes,
but what I've seen so far, he could be a hell of a player.
Yeah, you're right. We have to be careful. We don't want to hype him up.
I remember Wayne Rooney and people like that coming through, don't they?
Yeah.
I remember people saying when he was 15 in the reserves, unbelievable player and all that sort of stuff. So Max is probably similar, but as I said before, there's a long way to go, and you just got to keep working hard, keep doing what the coach says, and try and learn off the other players as well.
Yeah. Whilst on this tour in Asia, the defender Gabriel had this to say about how we have done everything we could in the last 3 years. He said, I feel like we had a little bit of bad luck sometimes, but we all believe that we can win big titles. He says, we're focused on what our manager is telling us to do and what we have to do and what we have to improve. He says, I think this year will be different. So it kind of suggests that, he sounds optimistic that maybe finally, and maybe that's in part due to the Victor Gyökeres signing as well, that we've all been saying that's what you've needed, Arsenal. Do you think this year could be different?
Well, Gyökeres is a big signing. I mean, everybody's crying out for a striker for quite a few years now. But whether he's going to be the man who can kickstart and score the goals, look, he's done so well in Portugal. And all he's got to do is keep making those right runs, and he will get lots of chances with the players they've got around him, and he knows where the back of the net is. But look, I think Liverpool are ones to beat this year again.
Yeah.
The signings they're going to get in, Isak, if he does go to Liverpool, looks like he will do. They're going to be the ones to beat. Big favourites, I'm sure. But Arsenal will have a chance. They've just got to try and learn. I think they was a little bit unlucky last year because at times in the season, the key players got injured. Saka was injured. Odegaard come back from international duty injured. Gabriel, we just mentioned there, was injured for quite a part. Martinelli was out, and Havertz, and you had quite a few injuries in that area. But they've got to try and be a little bit more lucky in that way. Because if you looked at Liverpool last year, they deserved to win the league. There's no doubt about that. But they didn't get Salah, didn't get injured. Van Dijk, the key player at the back, didn't get injured. There's certain players stayed up fit for the whole season, and that's very important for teams as well. But look, they've got a good squad of players now. They've got to believe in themselves. They've got to just go that one step further now to try and win that first title or Champions League, what it's going to be. And then they can look forward because it is a young squad. There's still got plenty of years in them yet. And they could probably go on and try and win other trophies if they do win that first one, which is very, very important. The hardest one, I always say, is the first one, together as a group.
Yes.
It's always hardest.
Yeah, got to gel everyone together, haven't you, over this pre-season period.
It's going to be a hell of a season, Natalie. I can't wait. I mean, as a player, you can't wait now yourself because you've had that pre-season. Your body should be up to speed. You should be ready to go. And you just ticking the days off now for that first game of the season, and then you're on the way again. And you can't get a bigger buzz than playing in front of big crowds and big games and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
As much as pre-season's great, and it's great to see the fans, if you go different parts of the world, you can't beat that English Premier League when it starts, and there'll be a real buzz when they walk out at Old Trafford, which would be a cracking game, by the way. The first game of the season for Arsenal, and they've got a real tough 6 games. The first 6 games are really tough. Man City, Liverpool, Newcastle, they play Leeds, Nottingham Forest, So they've got pretty tough start. So they need to get off to a winning start against United, I should imagine.
Yeah, it's not long, as you say. A week, in fact, today is when the Premier League season kicks off, which will be live here on talkSPORT, and it will be Liverpool against Bournemouth that kicks things off, as I say, a week today. Right, coming up, we are going to turn our attention to the back pages and celebrate Ballon d'Or nominated Scott McTominay. Ray clearly thinks Darwin should win it. Well, maybe not, maybe not yet. No. But we celebrate McTominay's resurgence next. Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. It's Natalie Sawyer and Ray Parlour with you until 10 this morning. I feel like Jamie O'Hara will be dancing to this one right now.
Oh, is he?
He's in Mykonos.
Oh, is he? Mykonos.
Yeah, I think he was in Ibiza. You know what he's
Okay.
like. Loves a party. We've got a bit of Love Island thing to start things off this Friday for you, but why are we playing it? Well, it's because one of the iconic Love Islanders was Danny Dyer. It's her birthday today, 29 years old. So a happy birthday to her. Danny Dyer recently married the West Ham captain, Jared Bowen. So the question this Friday morning we're putting to you, Ray, is would you love to see your daughter date an Arsenal player?
I would say I wouldn't. Look,
It's a stupid
yeah,
question.
it's a stupid question. Why would I answer that?
I know.
Look, if it happened and she was happy, then great. I mean, but
As long as it's not a Tottenham
it's just
player.
the circles. Yeah, well, like, it is what it is, isn't it? I mean, I think Alan Smith's daughter married Daniel Levy's son.
No.
Yeah. So there you go. There's Arsenal and Tottenham.
There you go. See,
But
can come
but they're
together
very
at
happy.
times.
They're very happy. So that's the most important thing. But yeah, I mean, at the moment, my daughters have got boyfriends themselves already. So I don't think
they're happy.
Yeah, they're
as
happy.
you say.
But if they did go out of an Arsenal player, good luck to them. Ain't Max Dowman.
That would be a bit weird. I
No,
think.
it would be, but
We were just talking about him in the break, weren't we? And I was saying that photo of you and him, how muscular he looks for 15.
Yeah.
And what you were sort of
Well,
saying
they're
back
all
in your day, it was very different.
they're all in the gym. Yeah, I don't think we had a gym when I was coming through the ranks. But it was a situation where you had a bench press outside. George Graham would be on it, trying to get his. He always been on it just before the summer, before he's going on holiday, old George. And he'd do a few bench presses and whatever. But a lot of it more was physically running and press ups and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this day and age, the amount of people who go on tour. I mean, behind the scenes, you don't realise how many staff they have, and they have different people just to have groups of 3 people, and all the different stuff they have to do before training, after training. It's amazing, really. So professional, much more professional in our era, because we were coming from training. If we'd been out the night before, we'd make sure the players who'd been out don't stand next to each other because of the whiff. The whiff of the alcohol will go over the manager.
Yes.
And so
Too
you have
many
to stand like every 4. So it's a little bit different.
He knew anyway.
But Mikel Arteta is very good, but letting them out as well. They can have nights out, and not go mad. Don't get me wrong. It's not like our era, but you can still go out and have nice dinners and have a few drinks if they want. And you got to. It's not. You can't always think about football when you're going on these sort of tours, because you got to relax. You got to get to know people in the squad, and get to know their characteristics. And that's like nights out. That's like nights out.
Yeah.
Not like that.
What we needed is you on these nights out with them. That would have been fun.
Well, about 3 years ago I was in where was we? In America, and we was round near Charlotte, I think it was, round near South Carolina or North Carolina, is it? Mm-hmm. And they played a game, and they was allowed to go out in the bar. So I'm in the bar with all the guys as well. Next minute, security guard comes up. Ray, the curfew's 1 o'clock in the morning. Can you tell him to go to bed? I said, wait a minute. The assistant manager's over there. Don't tell him to go to tell him to go to bed. I can't tell him.
Well, you see,
because I'm not a player anymore.
That's the thing, though. If the assistant manager's there or the manager's there, it's all
the
right.
manager's gone to bed.
No, but I'm saying if they're there, it's all right. 'Cause
Yeah,
they're
well,
all doing it as well.
Yeah, it was Steve Round at the time, and I said, go and ask Steve to tell him. I'm quite enjoying myself with him at the moment.
Ray Party Parlour trying to end the party.
I've got to try and get him to go to bed. Can you believe that? Right, lads, come on. I'll read you a story. He'll go back to bed.
Yeah, that's definitely not the right look for you,
No,
Ray.
no, definitely not.
All right, it's time for us to take a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle as a Pilates instructor? Stretch your budget with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big 3 networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
And Olivia Bazaglo is with us. How are you doing, Olivia?
Olivia?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you
Nice to
guys?
see you.
Yes.
Nice to see you.
Chelsea going to win the league this year?
Might finish above Arsenal, right?
I was listening to you coming in. You're very optimistic, which you've
I've
got to
gotta
be
be.
as a fan. Of course you have.
Yeah, gotta be.
Brentford have been in the top half as well, Natalie reckons.
Oh, hang on, I never said that. But I'm also saying don't write us off like everybody's
No,
doing.
absolutely not.
No.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, let's. This is so good. This is so good. Back page of the Mirror. I just love it. Scott McTominay's like glow up
Brilliant.
at Napoli. So it goes from Red's door to the Ballon d'Or.
Nice.
Obviously nominated for that. The first Scot to be shortlisted since Ali McCoist in 1987.
Wow.
But I mean, not even just that. Just like on and off the pitch. On the pitch, he was voted Serie A Player of the Year, now nominated for a Ballon d'Or, Ray. But off the pitch. Did you see him at Wimbledon?
Yeah, I did.
That
Italian,
outfit,
Italian
fashionista.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
That's the Italian influence.
That's
really.
Italian. Yeah. Every time I saw him in pictures, he had a cigarette, all smoke. He's just enjoying himself, and it's all about doing it on the pitch still. And he's certainly done that. He's done brilliant this year. I mean, Napoli is a great story. And next year they've got De Bruyne there as well. Haven't they?
Yeah.
They've got Gilmore. He's in
he's
midfield
there.
as well. So they've got quite a few boys there from the Premier League. And he's done a great job. So McTominay and Man United be kicking themselves. They're looking at it going, oh no, we should have, we're desperate for a midfield like him at the time. But fair play to Scott. He's gone out there and looks like he's really enjoying his life as well, which is very important. And I'm sure his wife or girlfriend, whoever's with him, is certainly enjoying it as well. All the limelight. And I haven't been in Naples for many years, but people have been there, said it's all about Maradona and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Scott's got a few pictures on walls now in Napoli as well.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Naples.
He's nominated for about. I'm not sure he'll.
No, I don't.
Not sure he'll get top 3, but
He'd be happy just to be nominated.
100%.
Yes.
Now the back page of the Daily Express. I mean, this is in the back pages of most of the papers, and it's a Maddison blow. Tottenham have been dealt a huge blow with the news that James Maddison is set to miss the majority of the upcoming campaign with an ACL injury. I mean, not just even him, but Levi Colwill now as well. And I mean, for both of those clubs, for Spurs and Chelsea, two players that, would have had a huge impact, I think, on this season. And we are going to focus a little bit more on Spurs a little bit later on and what it means for them. But for James Maddison, back in the Champions, and for Levi Colwill, back in the Champions League, a huge
massive blow, especially an injury like that as well. I mean, I never done an injury that bad as a player, but you're out for the season, and it's such a long road back as well. I think you're out for 9 months. I think it is 9 or 10 months.
Yeah.
And it's a situation where you see everybody training every day. You're in that physio room. That's when you need a lot of people around you. You always got to stay positive. You've got to always say, look, this is the plan going forward. I'm just got to get my head round that I'm going to be out for 9 to 10 months. And when you come back, the problem is when you come back, your body's not used to training for such a long time. Other things start pulling, hamstrings and calves and all that sort of stuff. So it's a real blow for the guys, and I feel sorry for them. But I've also played with lots of guys who've gone through that injury, have come back brilliantly.
Yeah.
And they're, Perez and people like that.
Decades ago, it could have finished you off.
Yeah, absolutely.
An injury like that. Yeah.
The nature of what they get, how they get looked after now, is so much better than it was back in the day.
Yeah,
you go back to the 80s, 90s.
Exactly.
And you get a cortisone put in your knee and all that and carry on. So at least they're looked after now medically. And a lot of the guys now, when they finish their careers, there'd be no problem. They'd be able to walk down the street. They're not pain in your knee and your hip and this and whatever, where a lot of ex-players have get that now.
The saddest part, I think, for Colwill in particular, I say this because of what we've seen with Thomas Tuchel's not really looked at James Maddison, so we think. Yeah. It's the World Cup
World Cup, of course it is, yeah.
So that's a big blow.
A massive blow.
And he'd had a brilliant season last season, but the Club World Cup for me was when I was like, right, he actually really stepped up in that competition. And it was who's going to partner Levi Colwill this season. That was the question. Who's going to partner Levi Colwill? And now it's who's going to play? Who are good? Chelsea?
Do you think they get Garnacho?
Yeah. I just don't know if that's what we.
I don't know what his attitude's like. I hope he's better than what he was at Manchester United. That's all you can say.
Yeah, and we got rid of Madueke, who had discipline problems at Chelsea, and
don't get me that.
Yeah, no, he did. Yeah. Enzo Maresca did drop him a few times because of his discipline issues, but it wasn't very many. But it's the same with Garnacho. Chelsea are light in those areas now. But whether Garnacho's the answer, I really don't know.
There is something about him though. Yeah. He can be impactful.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. It's the off-field issues that's a bit more of a problem. But, players can change. Players can learn from their mistakes.
Yes, they can.
So we will see. Olivia, that's all we've got time for now. I know you're going to return with plenty more as well. That was a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle as a Pilates instructor? Stretch your budget with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big 3 networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
Okay, coming up, Ray is going to tell us how he ended up with a pigeon head in one of his dishes in Hong Kong and whether he preferred that to a booner. That's next.
Let's be honest, we've all found ourselves raging at a referee's decision at some stage. Something like this?
That is an absolutely shocking decision.
They've got a case in that it was a bad decision. It's such a poor decision.
Yeah, I think he's just made a bad decision in that instance.
But what does it take to get to the very top level of football refereeing? You can apply to become a referee through your local county FA from as soon as your 14th birthday. After spending several hours either in the classroom or on the pitch, they'll grant you level 7 status, which allows you to officiate amateur games. Then you'll work your way through the ranks of amateur football, not reaching the National League until level 2. It's a long process, bearing in mind every level from 7 upwards takes an average of a year. Also, there's no specific number of games you have to ref or hours you have to log before moving on up. You simply just have to be good enough. Once you're level 2 and have enough experience at a National League level, you can apply to the EFL to become a level 1 referee. Then it's on you to get enough experience to climb through the ranks and eventually become a Premier League referee. In total, there are 37,000 registered referees across England, but the PGMOL has only deemed 21 good enough to officiate games in the top flight. So if you want to make it to the top, there's less than a 1 in 1,000 chance of doing it, and it'll take you a decade to get there.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Ray Parlour and Natalie Sawyer. Why are we playing Chicken Payback by the Bees? Well, on yesterday's show, Tony Cascarino and myself were joined by the former England winger Andros Townsend, who's now out in Thailand, playing for Kanachuri. I didn't say that get right, did I? Kanchanaburi Power, that's who it is. He explained the benefits of eating chicken, but not chicken as you might expect, like wings or the breast or whatever it is. No, he's talking about the feet.
First thing I would search for when I went in the supermarket was the chicken feet, because it's quite big in Asia and Thailand. So, yeah, I managed to find that as soon as I touched down in Thailand.
How did this come about, Andros?
2021, I ruptured my ACL, couldn't get fit. Took me about a year and a bit. Nothing was working. So, like, as a last resort, I sort of turned to nature. I turned to sort of more alternative medicine, turned to natural foods. And within 2 or 3 months, I was back in the Premier League with Luton, signed a 2.5-year deal playing against the top sides in the world again. So, yeah, the sort of change in mentality really did help me get back playing, because at one stage where I thought my career was over at the age of 32, I think it was. So, yeah, I credit a lot of it down to that change of mentality I had.
Chicken feet, Ray.
Wow.
Something you'd like to dabble with?
I changed mine to Cobra. That's what I did. No, chicken feet. I'm a sort of guy that'll try anything. I'm not a fussy eater.
Right, okay.
Not a fussy eater at all. And if something was in front of me and they said try it, I'll try it. I might not like it, but I will certainly try it. And he's done that himself, Andros, and he's enjoyed it. And look, fair play to him. If he looked like he was going to finish his career, then suddenly he's got that lease of life, and something in his head might have changed that. Then it seems to work. So stick to it. If chicken feet make him play every week and make him play at a good standard, then keep eating them. That's what I would say.
What about pigeon head?
Pigeon head. Now you're talking. Now, there's one thing I wouldn't eat, and I was in Hong Kong.
There is an element of fussiness to
Well, I did try the leg, though.
Okay.
So I didn't want to eat the head. He was winking at me at one stage. So please don't eat me. And I was like, yeah, I won't eat that bit. And it had the beak and everything. And
I know, you've shown us a picture of it.
There was a picture.
Oh, here we are. If you're watching on our sort of streaming.
Well, that was dried like prawn. And that's snake. That's snake soup.
No.
Which it's like, look, I like jelly deal, so I don't mind snake.
Okay, so
I would eat that. It's very similar, sort of slimy.
Oh, there it is.
And there it is. Now, would you eat that, Natalie?
No.
So that one there with his beak, look, with his eye there, he's lost his eye, obviously, but that was looking at me. I'm going, I can't eat that. And they said, please, can you try some? And I was like, I tried a bit of the leg instead. But the leg was a bit dry. It was a little bit like a liver. But now I like liver and bacon. You don't like liver?
No. Liver, kidney, all of that.
No, you don't. You wouldn't eat none of that.
Not a fan.
I like it. Quite like liver, but it was similar sort of texture, quite dry.
Honestly,
what time is it?
I know. I was going to say.
What time's breakfast?
I'm so sorry for ruining your breakfast already.
But it's that pigeon. That was a little bit too far.
Yes.
I don't want to eat a pigeon's head if I can help it.
No.
So I did pass on that situation, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. It's like, I suppose it's like chicken. You know, you eat all that sort of stuff. If you get your head round it like that,
literally,
it's a little bit like it was like being in the jungle. That was,
yeah,
it was like a roulette wheel, and they would spin it round. It landed on a snake. I tried the snake, and it was. But
it is funny because we're so used to eating certain things, and you're right. And other countries will happily eat every part of
absolutely.
A carcass or whatever it is, and yet we'll look at it and go, no chance. But it's just because of what you're used to.
Well, it's just presentation as well.
Yeah.
If I'm in a restaurant and they bought that dish out there and I've got a pigeon's head looking at me, I ain't going to eat it, am I really?
Oh, it's not for us.
If you, I don't know how you get around that though. Put the head at the bottom or something.
Honestly,
there's a couple in there, by the way.
Oh, I
couple of heads in there.
I mean, we've gone on about this for far too long, but honestly, I can't imagine being presented with a dish that has the heads there.
If I ate pigeon and I scored a hat trick, I'll eat it next week. True. Pigeon's head.
It'll keep you partying.
That could be the future.
Yeah, it might be. It might be. We're going to move on to the bad news that we've touched on already with regards to the World Club Champions, which are Chelsea. They've confirmed their defender Levi Colwill has undergone successful surgery after suffering an ACL injury. He reported back to Cobham for pre-season training on Monday before suffering the setback during a training session. So we're going to focus more on this, and we're joined by Chelsea Fan TV host Alex Harris. Alex, good morning. How are you doing today?
Morning,
Alex.
Morning.
Good to be on.
Thank you for joining us. I mean, it's the inevitable and obvious question, but How big a loss is this?
Yeah, it's a massive loss, and I feel like in the back line we've had a lot of rotations defensively. Obviously, Fofana consistently gets injured, so he's not reliable throughout a whole season. Tosin's in and out, Chalobah in and out as well. And one player we've been able to count on is Levi Cole in the middle. So a lot of Chelsea fans are very, very concerned about this. But one thing I would say is I wouldn't panic too much, because I'm hearing that, we've got to go back in the market, get another centre-back. We've just signed Yoel Hato. We still have Vega. That seems to be another player that could potentially come in, even though it looks like he was almost about to go to Atletico Madrid before that deal fell through. And, defensively, our record under Maresca has been pretty good. So I wouldn't rush to sign a replacement. I feel like we have other players that can play in that position. But again, you're looking for someone left-sided as well. So in that case, you only have Hato, who's 19. He did captain Ajax, so it makes you think maybe he could just slot in. But at the same time, it's a little bit different playing in England than Holland. But I wouldn't panic too much about that one, but it's going to be a massive loss for a couple of months.
And obviously, Garnacho is well figured now. It looks like he will be going to Chelsea. Good signing for you?
By the way, can I just say, Chelsea fans, some of them are just crazy to me. Like how we can do some of the business that we've done. We signed 2 strikers. We've got midfield depth. We've already got wingers in terms of Estevao and Gittins, so we've got depth there. We've got Hato. The only position that we can really complain about is the goalkeeper, if you want to be picky. So the fact that people are saying #no to Garnacho, this has been some sort of trend that's been going around. For me, it's just ridiculous. And if we were having this conversation now like it was in January, 50, 60 million, I know Man United turned down a deal from Napoli, which was 45 million. And I totally understand the concern. But we're not looking to go out there and spend that kind of money anymore. And Man United are in a position where actually they're going to be looking at January and probably regretting the fact that they didn't accept that deal from Napoli. So in my opinion, you are able to get this player because United are desperate to sell. He is desperate to leave. I want him for 30 million. The most I would add on to that is maybe 5 to 10 million in add-ons, incentive-based bonuses. And I know a lot of Man United fans will be angry about that, but that's the reality. He's a sellable asset to them. They need to raise funds. And to be quite frank, Garnacho is just not worth 50 million quid. So I think it's an opportunistic signing. I think it's a signing we need to take advantage of, a bit like Jadon Sancho. And I think he will improve Chelsea. He's not going to make us worse. You look at the environment that he's in at Manchester United and you say, is that a good environment? Absolutely not. You look at the players. Is that better than what Chelsea have to offer? No. Everything about Chelsea right now is better than Man United. And that's not me being rude. That's just the harsh reality. Chelsea are now, a lot of people don't want to admit it, but we're going to be in the title conversation. I don't think we'll win it, but we're in the conversation, right? We've just won the Club World Cup. We won a European trophy. We beat PSG. Clearly, we've got something about us that we didn't realise was brewing. And something's just clicked. And if you look at Man United now, Conference League is going to be a great finish. If they finish 8th, I heard Rio Ferdinand saying that. It's a good season. And he's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. So why would any player want to remain a part of that establishment? We've got better players. We'll give him more playing time. We'll give him a pay rise, better environment. Everything's better.
Yeah, I think he's the type of player that wants to be loved as well, which he's obviously not getting at Manchester United. Going back onto what you were saying about being in contention, perhaps, for the title. If you go back to last season and the start that you made, everyone was talking about Chelsea. They're in this title race. And I know Enzo Maresca wasn't. I know a lot of Chelsea fans weren't either. But fast forward to now, Jamie Carragher says, nearer to being in the conversation as being a title challenger. What makes you think things are so different, though, for you personally? Because you said you will be in the conversation, you just don't think you'll get it done.
Yeah, I think that the main thing is we've just got a belief now, right? I mean, I was heavily Maresca out. I mean, there's no other way for me to say it. And I'm very glad that I was proven wrong. I've got no problem saying that. I know I'm going to get slated for a year or two, and that's fine. But he has proven that he is able to go up against. He's just able to deal with that pressure. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And when you are backed as a manager, that is when you really know that you have a chance for success. The amount of managers that Chelsea have had, and they've needed this player or that player, and they've needed a little bit of support, and they haven't had it. They've needed that trust. And ultimately, Chelsea have always said that they've wanted a long-term manager, right, to push through. And I feel like Chelsea genuinely have faith in Maresca now. Like, we thought it was Potter. We thought it could be Pochettino. Maresca happens to be that guy. With support, he absolutely has everything that he needs, apart from a top goalkeeper, in order to push through in this league. Yes, our squad is young, but actually, considering how young our squad is, it's also really, really experienced. And you look at the quality of those players, we're not talking about just young upcoming players. A lot of these players are almost the best players in their respective positions, even though they're only 21, 22 years old. You've got Cole Palmer, nominated for the Ballon d'Or. Reece James, when he's fit, arguably one of the best players in the world in his position. Cucurella, genuine conversation as the best left back in the world. Our midfield depth, probably the best in the Premier League if you look at it on paper. Asugo cover for Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez. We've just got so much quality in an array of positions, and now you could make 2 starting 11s that are Premier League quality. And if you go back 2 years, right, we just come off the back of almost finishing in a relegation spot. I was at Bournemouth celebrating getting 40 points under Frank Lampard, and now I'm in here having a conversation about Chelsea being in the conversations for the Premier League. So that is such a positive step. But I will say this: I don't think we'll do it, but the fact that we're even in the conversation is just great progress. And I think the Champions League, if we don't get Champions League, is a disaster. And then now we just need to look at the domestic competitions, FA Cup, Carabao. We went pretty early last season. So if we can do that and just have a respectable campaign in the Champions League, then we're moving in the right direction. And then one more year, that's when we've got to really look at it and say, come on, guys, we've got to wrap this up now.
Alex, appreciate you joining us this morning. And I tell you what, the way that you were talking about that Garnacho deal, you should be a bloody sporting director.
Yeah,
shouldn't
absolutely.
He? That's pretty impressive. Strike a deal with add-ons, like you were saying. It's pretty good. Alex, thank you very much. Great to have you with us this morning. Still to come on Breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
The Championship is back this evening as newly promoted Birmingham face newly relegated Ipswich, and you can hear it live on talkSPORT. It's billed as one of the most entertaining leagues in the world, but why? Opta even have it down as the 6th strongest in the world. That's way ahead of the Scottish Premiership, for example, which doesn't even make the top 20. So, is the Championship still the most entertaining league in the world, or with the relegated teams dominating in recent years, is it not the same? 03717 223344. That's the number to call us on. You can even send us a voice note with your thoughts on that number too on WhatsApp. Why not do that? Get in touch. All that and more to come. And that was a look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade with easy delivery tracking and 2-hour delivery time slots. Terms and conditions apply.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. It's Ray Parlour and Natalie Sawyer with you until 10 today. Here are some of your headlines that you're waking up to. Chelsea defender Levi Colwill has had surgery on a serious knee injury and is expected to miss most of the season. The 22-year-old sustained the ACL injury during his first training session after the Club World Cup on Tuesday. 5 of England's Euro 2025 winning squad have been nominated for the Women's Ballon d'Or Award to become the best female footballer of the year. Captain Leah Williamson, Lucy Bronze, Alessia Russo, Chloe Kelly and goalkeeper Hannah Hampton all make the list. And all week we've been building up to the return of the Championship, and finally the wait is over. Tonight, live on talkSPORT, newly promoted Birmingham face Ipswich, who of course were relegated last year from the Premier League in what is a mouth-watering opening night fixture. Ahead of the game, Ipswich winger Jack Clark sat down with talkSPORT's Ian Abrahams and spoke about the quality of the Championship this year.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the standard across the league's only improving every single year. I think clubs who the Championship as a whole and the EFL in general is just getting bigger and bigger. There's a lot more money up and down the leagues for teams to spend to improve, and football's only getting bigger in it, so more people want to invest, which means better players, better facilities, and that's showing throughout the leagues. And like I said, it's going to be a tough year and all the teams are going to pose different threats, but we've got to be ready for it.
Got to be ready for it, and I'm sure they will be. I mean, the Championship, year on year, just delivers, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great to see Charlton back in it as well. You know, some of my old teams is in there, Middlesbrough, Hull. Yes. But it's always very, very exciting league. And you can come, if you get a late run, if you can stay in around the sort of mid-table, and then suddenly, with 10 games to go, you're getting a good run. Say, win 6 in a row, which you can be capable in the Championship. You can get right push into that playoffs. Yeah, and it's it's such a massive prize at the end of it. I mean, getting promoted to the Premier League. I was a little bit disappointed this year that all 3 teams that come up went down again. Yeah, because you'd always want to try and see at least one of them stay up, because it gives everybody hope in the Championship to say we can still come, because it is a massive gulf between both Championship and the Premier League. But yeah, it's really exciting. And Birmingham, Wrexham fans will be excited. Can they go up again? That would be amazing.
4 years in a row.
If they could get 4 years in a row of promotions, that would be some going.
Yeah, so, it will be.
It's going to be an interesting league, definitely.
It will.
Birmingham as well.
Yeah.
Back in it.
We are, of course, your home of the EFL, and we'll have plenty of live commentaries throughout the season across the talkSPORT network. OK, Olivia is back with us for a bit of this.
Don't stop, make it pop, DJ, blow my speakers up tonight. I'ma fight till we see the sunlight.
OK, why are we playing this tune?
We are playing this tune, TikTok, because this man...
Oh,
what's happened?
I'm on TikTok.
Ray Parlour is on TikTok, everyone.
Do you know what? I'm nothing to do with it, though. My daughter.
We did think that might be the case.
My daughter just started putting things on TikTok. I was like, what's this? I don't know about TikTok.
No, just for those of people that haven't seen Ray Parlour's TikTok, what sort of things do you post, Ray?
I don't know what's on there.
Shall I show you? Shall we?
My daughter.
Explain to us. What do we see?
Oh, look.
My youngest daughter.
So we've got
this was he's
balancing a glass on his foot while he's drinking a beer.
This was during the old when we couldn't go out.
Oh, it's one day. They posted it 1 day ago.
And it was so boring. But it's an old video. And I just... You know when you drop a glass and you catch it on your foot?
And then you open a beer.
And then you open a bottle of beer.
I love how you say, do you know when? No, I never do that.
Open a bottle of Cobra and then you fill the glass up and then you flick it up and catch it and then drink it.
Unreal. I actually love TikTok. I started TikTok during COVID as well. I don't do stuff like that. But I learned how to cook rice on TikTok.
Did you?
Right, so my mum, used to stir rice when she cooked it, and I was like, why is it taking 45 minutes for rice to cook?
Right,
TikTok showed me. So the way I cook rice is I put I clean the rice first and wash it, get all the starch stuff off it. I don't cook very often, as you probably tell. And then I put 1 cup of rice in, then 2 cups of cold water, so double the amount of rice to water. Then just put it on to boil. Wait till it starts boiling. Turn it right down. Put the lid on. Let it cook for 10 minutes. You will get the perfect fluffy rice. No need for stirring.
Or alternatively, just buy a rice cooker. That's what I've got.
Or just get packet rice and chuck it in the microwave. You could do that as well. But it's educational, Ray. So I reckon you get on that account and you stick to it.
I'll have to get involved a little bit more in it, I should imagine.
And also, Ray, 10k followers, and you can join the Creator Fund and you get paid.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll definitely get it.
So what is
That's what she's looking at. I should imagine.
Monetising.
Is it just Ray Parlour on TikTok?
It is.
I don't know what it is. What is
I
it?
will tell you. Don't worry. It is at Real Romford Pele.
Oh,
Anyone
right.
wants to follow Ray? He's got 2,970 followers.
Oh, have I?
But you got 60,000 views on one of your latest videos. You done Ray dancing with a drink in his hand.
That's a
in
couple of years ago.
Portugal.
I don't know where she's getting all these videos from. I'll have to have a little word with her.
Also, I done a TikTok I'm going to post a bit later. The Premier League have got a new filter and you've got to predict where all the teams finish.
Oh, right.
But obviously, you don't know who's going to come up next. You've got almost like blind ranking.
Like the
Natalie,
top
I won't
five.
tell you where I put Brentford.
No, it's not.
No, I put you to stay up, and that's all that matters.
No, that's all that
What have you
that
got Chelsea,
matters.
Olivia?
Wait, where do you reckon?
It can't be top. It can't be
Third.
top.
Third?
I put us third.
Oh,
Optimistically put us third.
That's all
I
right.
actually, when I look, I need to post it, but I think
Who's top? Liverpool?
Liverpool, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've absolutely smashed it. I can't lie.
Okay.
I think I've absolutely nailed it.
What was the first team that came out?
What was the first team that came out?
Just out of curiosity.
I mean, I can have a look. I can't remember.
No.
Can't remember.
I'm just curious.
Who's your bottom three?
The three that came up.
Yeah.
Because I just think like I had Brentford 17th. Sorry, Natalie.
It's not a problem.
And I had like West Ham because I'm not sure about West Ham.
Yeah.
I had them 16th. Like Everton 15th. Like I had I just
Manchester United?
I have them 8th.
8th?
Which I thought was quite realistic.
I think they'd be happy with that.
I think I'd Spurs 9th.
Mm.
I don't know. Like I just think I nailed it.
There we go.
One take wonder.
Can you imagine it coming?
Can you imagine? I don't know what
odds would that
I
be?
don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll put a bet.
I don't think
Can
you'd
you
be
do-
working in here
Can you,
anymore.
can you
If
do
you had
that
a bet on
bet?
that.
Can you do that bet? I might have to do it.
Right.
You should do that.
Okay. Well, I mean, you should put that definitely on TikTok. Is it on TikTok?
I just thought it's a bit early. I did it at like 5 this morning, so I thought, but I'll put it in my drafts. Post it at like 10. Good time to post on TikTok,
Well,
right?
we need to see it then. We
Yeah.
need to see it.
All right,
I don't know.
another bit of
I
advice.
actually really don't know.
I like the rice though. I'm going to try the rice.
Yeah.
Try the rice idea. That's
With a nice bit of chicken tikka with it.
Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
lovely.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find. Here we go.
Pigeon head, bit of pigeon head with a rice.
Oh, stop that nonsense,
gross.
please. I say nonsense. That's not right. If you love it, but it's not for
It's
us.
big in Hong
anyway.
Kong.
It's
Pigeon head.
We're going to move on. Olivia, thank you. We're going to turn our attentions to the Championship then and the Sheffield Wednesday protest. My goodness, the Owls fans are really feeling it heading into this new season. We're going to speak to hopefully one fan and see how they're fearing maybe what is to come. We're going to find out next.
What do you get when some of the most individual sports stars club together? Well, a melting pot of history, tension, rivalry, friendship and elite stories. Here are some of the best off-camera anecdotes from the Ryder Cup. Number 1, Tiger's loo roll. The protagonist, Lee Westwood's former caddy, Billy Foster, said in a toilet cubicle at the Belfry. As he went to relieve his first morning nerves, Foster noticed only one of the two cubicles had loo roll, and while he was seated, in came a tiger into the empty cubicle, and he realised his mistake all too late. So Foster took some paper, reached under the cubicle with a rescue offering, and as Tiger went to take it, Foster uttered the words, "Europe, 1-up." As it happened, Europe did go on to win. Fast forward 10 years to the miraculous Medina, when, after a gruelling Saturday, Rory McIlroy overslept on the Sunday and was in danger of missing his tee time. Thankfully for him, the person booking player transport was Erica Stoll. She sorted him a police escort to the course. 3 years later, McIlroy proposed in Paris. The next story is told by Scottish legend Sam Torrance about the great Seve, who apparently despised the Americans mainly because of a diminutive US reporter who kept calling him Steve.
Hey, my name is Severiano or Seve. It's no Steve, it's no Steve. Next day, Steve.
Torrance also tells of how Seve regularly gave coaching clinics to his European teammates, but a week later at the Italian Open, when the same players asked for advice, Seve would tell them to and see you next year. Having started with a Billy Foster story, let's finish with one from the 12th tee at Oakland Hills in 2004. It was Jimenez and Garcia against Westwood and Clark in a practice round, and as they finished, Foster decided to jump in the buggy and speed away with all their clubs, only to lose control entirely and tumble onto the course and see it careering towards the spectators. Thankfully, the Red Sea parted and the buggy smashed into a tree, with viewers and clubs still intact.
Oh dear, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with the Arnold Clark app. Buy a car and opt in to Arnold Clark Rewards to enjoy access to great giveaways and everyday perks. I'm Natalie Sawyer. And it's the Arsenal invincible Ray Parlour. Who's, he's all tangled with his wires.
I like the old headphones are better, aren't
they? We're a little bit easier, aren't they? These are our little in-ear monitors that we have to put in. And not the best at certain times when you suddenly get caught up with the wires. And they're very long as well. That's the problem. Anyway, on the way for you this morning, the countdown is on to the return of the Championship. It is back tonight as newly promoted Birmingham host relegated Ipswich. That's live and exclusive here on talkSPORT. Fans of Championship clubs, why not get in touch this morning and let us know how you're feeling about the season. 03717 223344. That's the number you can call us on. You can WhatsApp us there. You can leave us a voice note there, or you can text us to 81089. Share your optimism or maybe even your dread ahead of the new campaign. We're also going to be speaking in the next half hour to the former Everton captain Alan Stubbs. Get his thoughts on whether a deal for Jack Grealish really is doable for the Toffees. Plus, Palace are back at Wembley this Sunday, I should say, not tomorrow, for the Community Shield. We're going to ask ex-skipper Sean Derry whether they can do to Liverpool, there we go, what they did to Manchester City in May. Now, though, is there any silver lining in sight for Sheffield Wednesday? Players and staff have had wages delayed during May, June and July. Registration embargoes have been issued. The North Stand at Hillsborough has been closed because of concerns over its structural integrity. And boss Danny Roll has left the club. Captain Barry Bannon, who in the last week signed a new contract, joined Breakfast earlier this week and outlined just how bad things have been.
Staff members who can't pay mortgages are really struggling. Players, families, but the players are all right. It's the staff that we're having to go in and look at every day who are cooking his meals and cleaners and the little things like that really affect us as players because nothing's help. They're not getting any help, and they're really struggling. So that's why we're at the top of the ladder, and it was a strong stance from us to say basically it needs to stop and we need a bit of clarity going forward.
So that was the Sheffield Wednesday skipper Barry Bannon there, and don't forget their season kicks off with an away trip to Leicester on Sunday, which will be live and exclusive on talkSPORT 2. So let's bring you the fans' view on the mess at Wednesday, and it's the lead singer of the Reverend and the Makers. He's also a huge Owls fan, John McClure, that joins us this morning. Morning to you, John. How are you?
Morning, John.
A little bit on the rough side, actually. I went for a few pints with Sheffield Wednesday legends yesterday, Waddle and Hurst. We were discussing this matter, actually.
Brilliant. John, to be fair, John, I remember playing you guys in '93 in the FA Cup final, and you had some team then, blimey.
Yeah, we were talking about your mob, actually, Ray, because obviously Hursty scored the equaliser in the initial one and then went to the replay last minute. Broke me heart, that did, Ray. Not going to lie. Never got over it.
Yeah, Andy Linegan scoring.
Oh, look at you. You had to remind him.
No, but it was a replay as well. So they had some team, though. Oh, yeah. Really top class.
John, I don't know if you heard what Barry Bannon had to say on life at Sheffield Wednesday currently, and he speaks so well and thinking about those, that have been involved in the club for so very, very long, that don't get the big bucks, essentially, that players often do. He's such an incredible spokesperson, ambassador to have as your captain involved in the club.
Absolutely. I think we don't really deserve Barry. He's given the better part of his career and his life to the club, and obviously the situation is dire, and it's, as he said quite sort of articulately, it's not just him, it's people who work in the ticket office, the coaches, the cleaners, the staff. This owner is not fit and proper, and I'm hoping this legislation Lisa and Andy's brought in this week will help us get rid of him, because he's not fit for purpose, really. And Sheffield Wednesday is a big club, I think I saw a thing the other day, 16th biggest club in the land. And this is happening not only to us, but to Morecambe, who happened to Bury, and it's heartbreaking because the fella just won't have it. Everybody's tried to, make him see reason, the chairman, and he won't have it. He's just too far gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, as you mentioned there, John, it's a sleeping giant. I mean, it's a very attractive club to maybe get involved in, because the fan base, everything about Sheffield Wednesday is a real, the Hillsborough, obviously the stadium itself, it's a real, someone would definitely be very, very interested. Like a, look at Birmingham City, they've got people in there now who really want to go the right way. Wrexham are flying at the moment. That's the sort of people you need in there to get the club back to where it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I sit on North Stand with my two boys, and we don't even know if I've got 3 season tickets with my lads. We don't even know if we've got a seat because they've condemned the stand. The roof's falling in. He's sort of asset stripped in lots of ways. We don't own the ground anymore. I mean, I know a fella who wanted to maybe buy it, so I got Chancery on the phone, and I'm on Zoom with him from Thailand. Like I am, I'm sat here, right? He's in Thailand. I had him on for 2 hours, and I must have said more to you in these few minutes than I did to him in 2 hours. The guy don't listen. He don't want to hear. And the problem is that there are people who want to buy it, but the asking price he's been wanting is so astronomical for what's actually there.
Yeah.
He just scares everybody off, and his negotiating tactics are so kind of bizarre. I don't know what we do next, really. And I feel, Barry's very loyal to Sheffield Wednesday, as Liam Palmer is, but rest of the lads, and we know some of these guys, the good fellas, you can't blame them when they've not been paid for 3 months, that they go and like in Josh Windash's case,
Yeah.
don't play for Wrexham or whatever. If you're working on a building site and your gaffer don't pay you, after a bit you walk off, don't you?
Mortgages and all sorts, yeah.
Same.
I mean, John, you were right to point out about the regulator that's going to come in and what powers they are going to have. And hopefully we're going to see, well, more looked into owners and making sure that they do have the financial backing that they suggest that they have. And I know the EFL do have their fit and proper persons test, and it's a lot harder these days. But what we're seeing, I suppose, with a lot of these owners that have come in, and Chansiri is certainly one of those, is he came in and he gambled very early on that he could get the club promoted. That obviously was the aim. Similar to what is happening at Hull right now as well. And that's the problem you're finding, is that owners are coming in and expecting instant success, putting all their money in. And once that doesn't happen, well, it all dries up very quickly.
Yeah, and I think people forget very quickly that you're not taking a load of chips into a casino here. It's a community asset. You know, it's my nana went dancing with the Wednesday players when they won the FA Cup in the 1930s. You know, it's generational. My dad, who passed on last year, took me to my first Wednesday game. And at that point, it's not a load of chips in a casino, is it? Like, you're just lumping on red. You know what I mean? It's people's lives and memories and community. And we've got to, like, get into a situation in this country where we're not allowing that to happen. And I know people often talk about German model of fan ownership and whatever, but whatever needs to happen, we've got to stop this, because it's I know, like, a fair few people who are like genuinely depressed by this and crying and all sorts. It means that much to them. And talking to Chrissy Waddle and David Hirsch yesterday, and like, they're heartbroken. They want to help, but what can they do? They're only two. I don't like the legends, but they're only two fellas, aren't they? And they don't possess the personal resources to step in. It's everybody's like sort of scratching their head. I don't know what to do. I've tried, but you feel powerless as a fan, don't you?
Yeah, and when you consider what has happened over this summer period, you mentioned obviously a lot of players leaving, Danny Roll also leaving, and Henrik Pedersen being given the opportunity to take over at the end of July. He's obviously had no time to do anything to really get this club in any probably shape to start this new season, which is a worry for you going into it. And what are you thinking is going to happen then?
I mean, it's tough, isn't it? My cousin's a coach down there for under-16s, and they all speak very highly of Pedersen. He's supposed to sort of carry a Sabutio pitch round, and he's like a football geek, and he's the brains behind Danny Roll. But, I mean, the fella's got like 10 players over 21 on the books. And, I mean, there's a small chance it'll work a miracle. That's what Roll did a couple of seasons ago, right? A sort of minor miracle to keep us in the league. But in some ways, that validates people like Chansiri then, because it sort of, if he does keep us up, there's an element to which Chansiri will go, oh, well, look, we're still in Championship. And it's such a sort of deep-rooted thing, malaise is probably the word, where the training ground and the actual stadium are rotting. The kind of problems at the club are so much deeper than just on the playing side. I don't know, it's just like, we have a saying that we say in Sheffield, like, keep it bouncy, right? But it's hard to find any joy whatsoever in the situation with a club, and the sooner he goes, I don't think anything gets better until, like, the guy at the top goes, really.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Well, look, John, thank you for being with us, especially after your big night. Look, we wish you the best of luck with whatever happens with Sheffield Wednesday.
Cheers, John.
All right, cheers, guys. All the best.
Thank you, John.
It's all about staying up this year, Sheffield Wednesday's point of view. If they can, it's going to be difficult.
That they can.
I'm looking at the betting, and they're bottom of the.
I think many are predicting, because John's pointing out that there's hardly any players.
It's such a shame. I mean, I mentioned that 93 game. You should have seen the team there then. Des Walker, Chris Woods in goal.
Yeah.
You had obviously David Hurst, Paul Warhurst, John Sheridan, Chris Waddle.
As he's saying.
Danny Wilson on the right hand side. Phil King was left back. Yeah, that's a brilliant team they had, and they got to the final. And it was really weird that year because we had it was Arsenal Tottenham in the semi final, and it was Sheffield Wednesday v Sheffield United in the semi final.
Oh, really?
Two derbies.
Oh, fab.
Both at Wembley.
Yeah.
The semi finals.
Yeah,
and, obviously we played Sheffield Wednesday in the final. Replay, and Eddie Linigan got the winner.
I love it.
Good old days, Natalie.
But how different trajectories the teams are on, sadly. You can hear, though, how Sheffield Wednesday get on in their first game at Leicester when they take them on Sunday. It's live and exclusive on talkSPORT 2, and kick-off is at 4. Now, there's a real buzz around the office as we have a couple of legends returning on Monday. Super Ali McCoist is back in the studio with Jeff Stelling on talkSPORT Breakfast from 6, and then they're followed by the return of Jim White and Simon Jordan, who will once again bring more fireworks, I'm sure, for you from 10. And if that's not enough, and then you're into your music, then why not swipe on the talkSPORT app and listen into Chris Evans on Virgin Radio? And if you love your music, such as Oasis, Red Hot Chili Peppers or Stereophonics, then swipe on the talkSPORT app to listen to Virgin Radio with Chris Evans returning as well. Now, coming up here today, we're going to hear from a talkSPORT caller who says Newcastle can't sign any players because foreign players don't know where Newcastle is. That's next. might be right. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. It is Natalie Sawyer Ray Parlour with you until 10 this morning. We were just having a little chat about the Euro Millions and oh dear,
a lot of money,
170 odd million, I think it is tonight.
I'm saying it could be you, Natalie. Who knows?
I am trying my best to manifest it.
Yeah.
It's not happening yet.
You would be sitting there next week if you did win it.
Oh, I don't think I would be. And I don't think you'd be either.
No,
sure.
definitely not.
Now, after interest from Newcastle, Manchester United have agreed a £73.3 million deal with RB Leipzig to sign Benjamin Šeško. After being caught in what seemed like a messy love triangle, what do the Newcastle and Manchester United fans make of it all?
The fact that this would happen tells me that the Big Six are more of a statured club worldwide as opposed to the likes of Newcastle's.
We've made a lot of players better, and if the 22-year-old called Šeško wants to go Man United because he thinks they've got a better plan, which they've had several better plans over the last 4 or 5 years, and were 15th in the Premier League last year, then so be it. That's not a player we would want.
Ray, just quickly to get your thoughts on this one then. Are you surprised that Šeško might be opting for Manchester United when Newcastle are offering Champions League football, or does United still have
Well, they've still got the pulling power. They certainly have. I mean, look, it's been a horrendous season. Every Man United fan would know that, but they've still got a history around the world. They're still one of the biggest clubs in the world still. There's no doubt in that. And he's probably, he's probably looked at it and said, Manchester United can't get that much worse, can they? They can only improve now. Under Almiron, and he's trying to build. Look, the signings he's made so far have been very good.
Yeah,
Cunha and Burmo. Obviously, you know him from Brentford.
Yeah,
exciting player. And Šeško now. Look, you never know when you're going to buy a player how they're going to hit the ground running. A little bit like Arsenal buying the striker. Whether he can hack it in the Premier League is a lot more difficult, but Šeško now is going in there and he's now looking like a little bit of a better team now. And a lot of people were hopeful. I don't think they're really optimistic that they will finish high, and it's all about building.
Yeah.
It's all about coming. Can you get in that top 8 next season? And it's amazing to talk about being in the top 8 because you never really understood Man United being out the top 4, did you, back in the day? We was always battling against Man United. There was always the best team. But now it goes round in circles and they will come back. There's no doubt about it. They will get back. It might take a little bit of time, and I'm sure the Manchester United fans will be patient, looking and try and give every chance of getting back. But, he hasn't got a magic wand. It will take a little bit of time, but he's certainly buying players now to probably challenge again, to try and get in that top 8, and then you build again, then you build again. But Newcastle are a massive side as well. Around the world, people know Newcastle. Great football area. North East is a real, and I'm so pleased Sunderland are back in it as well because I can't wait for that derby, Newcastle-Sunderland. And Newcastle, look, they'll be gutted that Isak is leaving, but all they've got to try and do now is get the most they can get for him, money-wise, and then try and reinvest it in the squad again.
It's interesting that point you made, though, about, it wasn't that long ago, I say not that long ago, a decade or so ago, that it was always default Manchester United top 4.
Oh, easy.
Title challengers, etc.
If you said to me, 10 years later, they're going to be coming 16th and no chance.
No.
Because of the club's size around the world and the support they have. Yeah. And I would have said no chance.
All right, it's now time for Olivia's favourite song. What a face she's pulling. Yeah. It's a grimace, I would say.
Gosh.
No. Turn that off, Ed. Turn it off, Ed.
That might be the worst intro I've ever had to anything in my entire life.
I'm so sorry.
But anyway, now we get to talk about Spurs, and after they got battered by Bayern Munich yesterday. 4-0, Harry Kane scored.
That put a smile on your face.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
No, but in all seriousness, for Spurs, back end of last season, they couldn't have really asked for much more given where they were in the league and the way that Son's gone out, and they've got Champions League football. But after the Maddison injury, right, Solanke hasn't played a minute in pre-season. Their options. Kulusevski's injury prone.
He's injured.
Yeah, they've got Matthias Tell, they've got Brennan Johnson. I think Mohamed Kudus is a very good sign.
He's a good signing. He would have been the one, Gibbs White.
Yes.
Well, they're crying out, Ray, aren't
Gibbs
they, for
White
a number 10, a creative player, especially now that James Maddison's out for the season.
Absolutely, but they're hard to find. That's the big problem. But Gibbs White when he was talked about going to Spurs, I said to all my Spurs mates, what a signing that'd be, because he's been brilliant at Forest. Forest fans would be over the moon that he's staying now and signing a new contract. But he would have been a real asset for Spurs going forward, for the sort of money they was going to pay for him as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know about Spurs. I mean, it was a brilliant season in the end last year. I know the league form wasn't very good, but to win a trophy and get in Champions League football, you can't ask for much more than that, can you? And every Tottenham fan I know said what a journey it was. Get to that final, they'll always remember that that fight. A little bit like West Ham when they won the Conference League. It'd always be in their memories that they went all the way in Europe and won a trophy. So, Spurs will be interested next season. Look, I think they've got a very good manager. Well, Natalie will tell you a lot more about the manager, Thomas Frank. I think he's getting much more organised. I know I'm not having a go at Ange, but at times in the league he didn't really know how to change things. And
Thomas,
Thomas he's very much look at the other opposition and try and. It's like a game of chess, right? If they're a better team than us, how can we stop them with their assets? And
adapting in it.
And it'd be much better doing that, I think, Thomas Frank.
But the issue you have is that you've got Thomas Frank coming in who wants to be supported by Daniel Levy. And yes, okay, the Morgan Gibbs-White thing didn't work out. And they have brought in Mohamed Kudus, like you've mentioned, but I mean, they need more. Clearly, he needs more.
Well, especially in the Champions League. Especially in the Champions League, you know the format now. You're playing a lot more games, and you need a bigger squad. And I don't know if they've got the depth. If you get a couple of injuries like they've had, a couple of more Madison injuries into key players, then you're in trouble. So they do certainly need a few more bodies through the door, definitely.
I wonder, Ray, if obviously your league form is a reflection of how good you are, right? So the league form is a reflection of how good Spurs were last season, and they weren't very good. Obviously, you can go on a good cup run. I've seen my team win big competitions when you haven't been the best team in it, but just there's something about it, that run, and they go on and win it. But do you think maybe them being in the Champions League has come a little bit too early for this squad and Thomas Frank? Maybe do you think they're maybe more suited to again perhaps playing in the Europa League, because it does feel like
I can see what you're saying,
their squad maybe isn't quite ready to compete at the highest level.
But I'm sure Daniel Levy will say, well, financially, we're ready, because the money they will get in from the Champions League is so important for the club. I know what you're saying. It might be a bit too soon, but you just got to try and compete, And Spurs, look, they've got the stadium now. The stadium's amazing. It's now getting that team organised on that pitch and trying to compete every single season. They want to be in the Champions League every season, and that is the most important thing for clubs now, financially. But it will take time, and again, Daniel Levy needs to back the manager. If he thinks they've really put themselves out to get Thomas Frank, didn't they? I mean, it cost them a lot of money to get revenge and bring all their staff and all the staff leaving. So now it's all about, right, we've got to support him. And what does he need to make this team challenge the top 5, top 4, whatever it is? And that's he needs a bit of help now from the owner. Whether he's going to get it is another matter.
Well, yeah. And what a test they've got next week when they're taking on PSG in the UEFA Super Cup.
But they're the sort of games you want to be involved in.
Oh, absolutely.
This is what it's all about, being a Spurs fan. To get to that final and beat Manchester United. I see it was a really weird final, because whoever loses is going to be so disappointed with the league form as well, how they competed in the league. That Man United fans were the ones who were disappointed, but Spurs are over the moon. They've won a trophy, back in the Champions League, and now they're Super Cup, whatever it is they're in, and it's good for the club, isn't it?
Yeah,
financially as well.
Yeah. Tottenham fans, why not have your say this morning by calling in on 03717 223344? Are you fearing the worst when you take on PSG on Wednesday? How deflating has this transfer window been for you, with the Gibbs-White saga, and now Madison's out with an ACL? Your captain Son has left as well. So do you feel that Thomas Frank is really up against it? Why not get in touch? We'd love to hear from you. Olivia, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Olivia.
Up next, are Everton fans excited for the season in the new stadium, or do they need to make a signing like Jack Grealish, who they've been linked with? We'll discuss it next.
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media, and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earn 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same, and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Build your own car deal online or with just a few clicks. They make buying your next car easy. It is Ray Parlour and Natalie Sawyer here with you right now as we take you through until 10. And the Italian Serie A champion, Scott McTominay, has begun loving life in Italy since his move from Manchester United. 12 league goals, the Serie A MVP, and he has simply taken to life in Naples like a duck to water.
No, it's amazing. The people there are incredibly passionate and they drive us through every single game, and they're probably some of the best fans that I've ever played in front of, because every game that we turn up, the fire in them to push the team and to help and stuff like that it's incredible, man. Like, honestly, for me, like, going there, the love and support that they give to the whole team, not just individuals, is special.
Brilliant.
Oh, he
like his
has
jacket.
been Italianised, doesn't he? The double-breasted and everything.
cool.
Yeah, it looks very, very smart, doesn't he? A reward then for his fine season. He has made the 30-man shortlist for the Ballon d'Or. A far cry from the player who would probably have been called solid, but nothing more, maybe, at Manchester United. How great an achievement is that? Simply just to be nominated. For
it's a brilliant achievement. Really is. I mean, for everybody who's playing football, to get nominated is a real honour for yourselves. But as he mentions there, he really looks like he's took to it, and the fans are so important for any club. And they're so passionate, you know. He's just saying they queue outside. They really push the players, and you want to do well for the fans in the end. And that's what looks like it's come across like that. And that's why they love him so much, because they can see his energy, they can see his passion for the club itself. You know, and he hasn't come through the ranks at Napoli. He's just turned up, and he can see the desire that the fans show to try and be successful and try and win trophies. And he's really took to it. And Manchester United fans, I've always thought he was a good player.
I know.
I really thought he was he had the frame as a midfielder, strong, could tackle, get forward. But he's obviously wanted to change his life and change a different setting and go to a different country and see that, and he's really embraced it, and fair play to him. And he must be very proud of what he did for Napoli that season. And he'll always be remembered now.
Oh, absolutely.
And he will be like Maradona, not as big as Maradona, of course not. But
not quite there.
If he can do the same next season, who knows? He would have a couple of walls with his face on it, and it'd be fantastic. And well, fair play to him. Well done.
Oh yeah, he's already writing his name into the history books there for sure. Let's move on to Everton, who are never far away from the news. But finally, if you are an Evertonian, you might be going to work this morning with a smile on your face because of your transfer business. They've brought in Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. Barry's also come through the door. Tyler Dibbling is reportedly getting closer and closer. And Jack Grealish is another name which has been suggested as a possibility for David Moyes and his side. So let's get a little bit more on all of this and maybe how Everton fans are feeling ahead of this new season. Pleased to say former Everton captain Alan Stubbs joins us this morning. Alan, how are you?
How you doing, Alan?
I'm good, Natalie. How are you, Ray?
How you doing, Al? Yeah, all good, mate.
You had a good summer?
Yeah, very good, Al. On the golf course too much, but the only problem, I'm getting worse. I should be getting better, but I'm getting worse. I don't know what's happening.
I know how you feel, Ray.
It's not good. But Al, you're looking forward to the season? I mean, has pre-season gone for Everton?
I think in terms of results-wise, it's been a bit mixed, but I think that's a reflection of terms of, that David's had a couple of comments in the press in terms about he needs players in the door, and I think I think it was always going to be this time of the summer where Everton were going to do their business. They've been very active, I think, behind the scenes. They've been told no on a couple of targets, but it's really nice, to be honest, to be in a position where Everton are being linked with players that we've not really been linked with in a number of years because of the restraints on the club, because of PSR.
Yeah.
And it looks like Everton are just starting to slowly but surely come out of this, and I think personally at this moment in time, the transfer window's been a very positive one for Everton. The biggest one for me is Jared Branthwaite's re-signing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think that was the best piece of news any Everton fan could have asked for this summer. But then you look into that, Everton have signed 5 players up to now. Alcaraz, as you say there, Tiano Barry, Asnu, Travers, Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, and we've been linked with 2 potential players that I personally think would take Everton to another level.
Definitely, yeah. Well, Jack is obviously the one, and any club he could get into the side. I should imagine. I know it hasn't worked out at Man City, Alan, but if he come to Everton, as a number 10, he could play on that left hand side if you wanted. But I always see him as a number 10. I think he'd be perfect behind the front, always on the ball, lively. And he's looking fit. I mean, I've seen him. He's training hard, and that's all he's got to do. And if he can somehow, if Everton can get him over the line as a signing, that would be a real marquee signing.
Yeah, it would be. Right. To be honest, I had a night out with Jack in the summer over in Marbella. And
did you have a pen on you? Did you have a pen on you?
I was trying my best to get him to Everton shortly. I was telling him how much he'd be loved. He'd be an idol at Everton. Their fans would really take to him. And I just think from an Everton point of view, as you're just saying there, I think Jack Grealish needs to be loved again. I think he needs to start enjoying his football. And that's not to say anything about Man City. What he's done, and he's gone there, he's won titles, he's won trophies, but he's not been the same Jack Grealish that we've seen at Villa, where he had the freedom to go and be himself. And I think David Moyes would give him that. I think he'd absolutely relish at Everton. I really do.
Yeah.
And I think we all want to see that Jack Grealish. I think no matter, even if you're a fan of any club, you all want to see the real quality players do well. And I think Jack Grealish has really gone off the boil in the last year, and it's a shame to see.
Yeah, the stumbling block by all accounts is the wage situation, because the suggestion is that Manchester City want Everton to pay it in full, which you're talking £300,000 a week or so.
Yeah.
I mean, that just seems like astronomical figures, doesn't it?
It is. But when you want a player of that quality, you have to sometimes push the boat out. And I think Everton will be doing... If Everton were put off by that 300,000, this deal wouldn't have been talked about. So there must be something there that Everton want to push, and they must see something in it. Otherwise, they would have just cut it off straight away. So I think Everton are very keen to try and do a deal. with Man City. But obviously 300,000 is maybe outside of what they can possibly do. But the fact that Everton are still, or supposedly trying to negotiate, tells you that they feel optimistic that something can be done.
Yeah, I mean, it would be an absolute coup if you could get him, and for him to then rediscover the form that earned him that big money move to Manchester City as well. And let's not forget, he comes with titles, having won at City.
It's one of them as well, Natalie, and it's a World Cup year.
Exactly.
So he needs to play out. He needs to play out, doesn't he? I mean, if he can get his form back, he's certainly been Tuchel's mind, but he won't be if he doesn't play. So
I think that's a really important point, Ray. Is that Jack Grealish will be looking at this season as a really important season to get back on track, but also to get back in the frame for an England call up again.
Yeah,
because that's at the forefront of his mind as well. We all want to see the best players playing the best football, and ultimately England will benefit from that. The more players that Thomas Tuchel has to choose from and who are playing well, the better that is for England. And if Everton can be that platform for Jack Grealish, then fantastic. But then also you've got to throw into the mix Tyler Dibble, that Everton are trying to push, who's potentially going to be a real good player. So it's honestly, Natalie, I've been on here a number of times, doom and gloom and Everton's woes, but right now we're about to move into our new stadium tomorrow, first game against Roma. So it's all positive right now from an Everton point of view. It's great.
Oh, it certainly is. And I'm sure that, as you say, that first game tomorrow against Roma is going to be really special for everyone who haven't yet
I haven't seen the stadium yet, have you?
I haven't. Well, I have seen it in the sense of I've been up there and when it was being built. It's an incredible place. It's a fabulous sort of setting.
It is, yeah.
I'm not sure it's the easiest to get to in terms of public transport, but I don't know if that's more that you might be able to tell us about, Alan. But yeah, it's going to be such a move. It's always obviously sad to leave somewhere like Goodison, but it's just going to be a fabulous stadium for Everton.
And Jack Grealish could be part of it, Al.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh, listen, what a coup that would be tomorrow. Jack Grealish was walking out onto the pitch. It's not going to happen, but that would be nice to see. Listen, I think where there's a will, there's a way with the stadium. The fans will make it work. I think the club are trying really hard in terms of the access to it.
Yeah.
I do think that they've been caught on the back foot. I think Liverpool City Council in terms of the access to the stadium, in terms of the infrastructure with the trains and things, but I think there's the most important thing is that we have a brand new stadium to visit tomorrow, which will be the first full house at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, and we're all really looking forward to it.
Yeah, brilliant. Exactly. That's the positive side of everything. And as you say, Jack Grealish being linked, Tyler Dibbling as well. Even John McGinn is another name that's been mentioned too, Alan. So there's lots to be excited about with Everton. And it's always lovely to chat to you, Alan. So thank you.
And you. Thank
Cheers,
you,
Al.
Thanks, Ray.
Have a good weekend.
That's the former Everton captain, Alan Stubbs. Right, still to come here on Breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find your local branch at travisperkins.co.uk.
We're going to carry on building up to the return of one of the greatest leagues in the world. Don't believe us? Well, take it from talkSPORT's chief live football presenter, Adrian Durham.
Hi, I'm Adrian Durham, hosting Birmingham Ipswich Friday night live on talkSPORT as the Championship gets underway. Then Saturday afternoon, round the grounds, all the goals as they go in, I'll be at Stoke Derby in the Championship. And what a division. The Championship is ridiculously brilliant.
Yeah, tune in to talkSPORT tonight then to hear that live commentary of Birmingham versus Ipswich in the Championship, kicking off at 8. The Times is calling it this morning the hardest league in the world. Do you agree with that? 03717 223344. Why not call us? Have your say. Also, we want your voice notes this morning. John McClure has been out with Waddle and Hurst. Alan Stubbs has been on a night out with Jack Grealish in Marbella. So what's the best night out you've had with a footballer? I'm sure Ray's got one or two stories that he can tell us. Send us a voice note to 03717 223344. We want to hear your stories and see if they can beat Ray's. That was a look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
Good morning. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. It's Ray Parlour, Natalie Sawyer with you until 10 o'clock this morning. Don't forget 03717 223344. That's the number to call us on. And we want to hear from you this morning with regards to the Championship, which makes its return for the new season tonight. Is it the most entertaining league in the world? Is it better than the top flight, for example? Loads of you have been getting in touch already. We're going to speak to Dan, the Leeds fan, who joins us. Dan, how are you?
Good morning, Dan.
Morning, guys.
Morning,
Dan.
Dan.
All right.
Yeah, we're really good, thank you.
Best league in the world by far. As a Leeds fan, do you know what? I'm not over optimistic. It's just gone are the days. Alan Shearer, Thierry Henry, players like that, Gianfranco Zola, even the White Feather. I can remember his debut at Liverpool, 3-0. Absolutely, you know. It's just one of them. It's like it's gone. It's just. I mean, all right, they were friendly, but the game against Leeds Man United and teams like it's just slow. I watched Leeds at the weekend against Villarreal, and I thought, is this what we've got to look forward to next season? It's just boring. I'm sorry, Natalie Ray, but
no, it's your opinion.
No, it's a little bit more tactical, isn't it? I mean, Premier League is a little bit. They sit off each other and they try and work people out, and and suddenly it's the final third. There's a little bit of pace.
Yeah, I think VAR spoiled it, Ray. And I mean, don't start me on this SPS, whatever it's called, SPR or
PSR.
I mean, you had PSR. Sorry, yeah.
That's right.
Thanks, Natalie.
That's okay.
But yeah, you had fans like yesterday. I mean, let's all jump on top of Newcastle. Why? You know what I mean? And I'm going to say it now, and if they don't like it, then they can ring up and complain. But Man United fans, get back in your box. Just because you've got 3 good players, you've signed 3 good players, your Fergie days have gone. You know what I mean? You did win trophies, but you don't anymore. You know what I mean? And it's nice to see, and I was ringing up to say this yesterday. It's nice to see the other Reds start winning stuff now, Liverpool.
Dan, good call. Thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to those.
Please get in touch.
I'm so pleased Leeds are back in the Premier League, though. Ellen Road was such a really tough place to play as an away team, and the support is amazing. And now, that's a game. Leeds, Man United, Leeds, Liverpool, Leeds, Man City. It's a little bit more rivalry up that, and they've got a great support lead. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they go. And let's hope, let's pray for one of them to start this year, or maybe 2. Who knows? From who get promoted?
Yeah,
it's going to be tough for them, but let's hope at least one stay up.
Someone's got to buck the trend, haven't they? You're quite right. Olivia is back with us because it's time.
You're on TikTok still?
A little bit. No, it's a bit of matchmaking.
Is my rice ready yet?
Stick a load of singles in there, and then they fall in love.
Of course, it's hard. It's supposed to be hard.
36-year-old, you'll have the knockers. You will.
Just because it's offering its teat, do I really have to muscle on that?
Is there anything in your personal life that could be causing you stress, sir?
I'm not a great lover.
Hello. Oh. What's your name?
Sarah Louise.
Sarah Louise. Crack, you're up for it, aren't you?
I was in love at the time. That's what I was doing.
At the time? I love the moose there.
Oh, God. Come on,
He's a charmer, the moose. I don't know about that.
Indeed. Right, what have you got for us?
Okay, so this is a bit of transfer Tinder, and I'm going to need you both to swipe right.
Yes.
If you're a match, if this is a match made in heaven, or swipe left for no. Okay, so the first one is Yohan Wissa to Al Nassr, 28 years old, from DR Congo, 5'8". Now Wissa is not happy in his current relationship. It'd been a solid 4 years, but things have gone sour. Last season was the strongest. 19 goals and 4 assists in 35 Premier League appearances. He's caught the attention of plenty of European clubs, but could he sail off into the sunset in Saudi Arabia? Swipe right or swipe left?
Well, I know where you're going to go, Natalie. Yeah. But financially for himself, it'd be right. But I think he's got a lot more to offer in the Premier League. I think there's plenty of time to go to clubs like Al Nassr or wherever it's going to be, Saudi, and you get forgot about very quickly. I think he's suited to the Premier League. I think he's done brilliant. So I'll say left. I hope he stays in the Premier League. I'm going to go left.
Well, obviously, I'm swiping right. He can go to Saudi.
Are you?
Yeah,
You've
because I actually don't want to see him play against
How much are they going to get Brentford?
Well, I think we're wanting around 40 for him. Maybe a bit, slightly less, maybe. I just, the reason I'm saying that is because of what's happened over this summer period. If he'd been like the Brian Mbeumo situation,
wouldn't mind.
I don't mind him going to Manchester United. I actually want him to do well because I have such affection for Brian Mbeumo. And Yohan Wissa had that. But the way he's gone about things, I just feel you could have done it differently and you'd have been sent off with all of us going, good luck to you. Well, there's just an element of, no, we don't want you to do well now. And I don't even know if he's actually going to be able to do what he did last season elsewhere or replicate that going forward, because it was such an extraordinary season for him. Whereas with Brian and Burmo, he's every year has just got better and better.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So we've
Okay, right and left.
We've got one right, one left. Okay, next one is Mark Gay to Chelsea. 25 years old, from London, 6 foot. They say never go back to an ex, but could that be on Mark Gay's mind?
Got history there, Ray?
Oh, no. I've got no more money left. Well, that's why should go back.
That's the better option.
132 Premier League games. He's full of experience. He knows the club inside out. Low maintenance. You wouldn't have to spend a lot of money on him. Could the centre-back fill the void that Levi Cole has left? Is he going to rekindle an old flame? Swipe left or swipe right?
For Chelsea's point of view, you've got to go right.
Yeah.
Certainly. I mean, he's been brilliant at Palace, and Palace don't want to lose him, but they are a selling club. They're realistic, and they might have to sell one or two of their players. But for Chelsea's point of view, they're getting a very, very, very good player. Don't know what sort of money it'd be. What sort of?
It's like 40 mil, I think.
40 mil, which that's the rate these days, isn't it? Everybody's 40 million at least, going and upwards. So I think it's definitely a right for Chelsea's point of view.
Yeah, I hear that very much so for Chelsea. I, though, think if he's going to have a choice of Chelsea and Liverpool...
Yeah, he's going to go.
You're swiping left for Chelsea, as in get rid of Chelsea and swipe right for Liverpool.
That will be another hammer blow for a lot of clubs who try to go for the title.
Yeah, exactly.
If Liverpool get him as well.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. We don't need that, do we?
No. Go Chelsea.
Okay, yeah, go to Chelsea. Okay, and the last one, we've sort of switched it up a little bit. We've just gone Arsenal as a whole. So yeah.
Oh.
So I suppose we can swipe left and swipe right if you agree or disagree.
So every player.
So 6 summer signings. Arsenal have been putting in a lot of work to make things perfect. Finally got hold of the one they've been longing for, the one they so desperately needed. Victor Gyökeres, 54 goals in 52 games last season, has ended their summer of love. Have Arsenal finally settled down? Have they got everything they need?
Well, to be fair, they've had a very good window, I must admit. I've bought some good players in. Zuba Mendy's a very good player in midfield. Again, they got the centre half as well.
That was a snigger.
What did you say then?
Is it Kepa?
Yeah, no, he's all right. He's a good...
Good backup.
Good backup.
Good backup to Raya. Good backup to Raya.
But I still think there might... Is there one more signing? There could be one more signing.
So
Will they still be going for Eze?
Maybe.
He'd be a good signing.
That would be a very good signing.
Very good signing.
So are you saying you haven't settled down?
Well, I think there might be one more signing. I don't know how much money they've got left, or whether the rules as well they've got to look at. But if there is enough money, Eze would be...
Okay, but does he replace Martin Odegaard? Because otherwise, where does Eze play? Or are you going to play him off the left instead of Martinelli?
Yeah, you'd be off the left there, maybe. But you've got to have options. You've got to have lots of players who can just come in and come out of the team. And, you know, we all know that you've got to have depth. A lot of depth if you're playing Champions League football, the FA Cup, you know, there's so many games that's why Norgard would be good for Arsenal.
Yes.
Because he can come in certain games, got the experience.
Totally agree. Yeah.
And he knows he's going to be second fiddle, but he can still play a big part for Arsenal in certain areas. So I think Eze would be the icing on the cake.
So we're swiping left.
We're swiping left.
Not quite
Not
there.
Settled down yet. Not quite, but
maybe
close.
one more.
Close.
Yeah,
Close.
very close.
Very close.
Not quite
there you go.
There we go.
Thank you for playing.
Thank you, Olivia. You're going to be back on Monday morning.
I am going back bright and early on Monday.
What do you do now, Olivia? Do you going to go back to bed?
Yeah, I go back, and have a little nap. Yesterday I had 2.5 hour nap, and it sorted me out perfectly.
Oh, good.
I mean, technically that's not a nap, is it? That's
It's a
proper
sleep, yeah.
I always say I'm having a nap, and it's like you.
It's hard when the sun's out now, though, to go back to sleep.
Oh, no, it's easy.
Yesterday was a bit cloudy. So.
Blackout blind, whatever it is.
I'll go back to sleep now. No chance.
Well, Olivia, we look forward to hearing you once again on Monday. Thank you very much. Coming up, are Birmingham the villains of the Championship? Does anyone outside of the second city want them to succeed? We ask a huge blue nose next. Our very own Ian Danter is with us.
The Six Nations, where giants do battle and legends are made. Epic sport which demands an epic voiceover every time. And actually has an interesting story as well. It all started back in 1871 when Scotland beat England in the very first international rugby match. The other home nations were a bit jealous, wanted in on the action, and after England played Wales in 1882, they all decided to hold an annual festival of international rugby, or the Home International Championship, which kicked off a year after. Now, the first decade was dominated by England and Scotland until Wales finally won in 1893 and Ireland a year later. After years of dipping in and out of the championship, France was invited to join full-time in 1910. But because France isn't a home nation, they had to give it a rebrand and settle on the Five Nations. But France were actually kicked out of the tournament in 1931. They were accused of paying players when rugby was still strictly an amateur sport. They had to wait years to be let back in. But after World War II, the Five Nations resumed. Didn't always run smoothly though, like in 1973 when all 5 teams won 2 matches and lost 2 matches. Now, because they didn't do points difference at the time, they just decided that everyone was the champion. It's like trying to keep kids happy, you know, the whole, you're all winners. In the years following, other teams in Europe started to get better at rugby and actually got to a stage where they were regularly beating teams in the Five Nations. In 1997, Italy beat Scotland, France and Ireland home and away. So 2 years later, the Five Nations invited Italy in, creating the Six Nations as we know it. In recent years, there have been calls to expand the tournament further to other European teams. Georgia and Portugal have been prime candidates to join of late. It's also been suggested there could be 2 tiers with promotion and relegation to promote growth of the sport in Europe. But the existing nations are a bit reluctant. So for now, it looks like the Six Nations, or Six Nations, or Sei Nazioni, is here to stay.
Jordan Henderson as well. We're just talking Brentford here on our summer window so far. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. I'm Natalie Sawyer and it's the Arsenal invincible Ray Parlour who is alongside me. It's all eyes and ears on the second tier. Back tonight on talkSPORT.
Birmingham City have been promoted to the Championship for the first time of asking.
There is a lot of expectation how things have changed at Birmingham City.
I think it's going to be really, really competitive next year. I can see Birmingham being right up there.
It's going to be a great season ahead. I can't wait to get started.
Birmingham City to finish top, obviously. You actually think they're going to finish top? Of course. Why not?
And on the follow-up, Stansfield puts it in.
We have to surround each other with a group of people that allow us to all be successful. That's what makes a great team.
They've only won here once all season, and that's the bottom line. And that is pretty much the relegation picture, all but done and dusted. Ipswich 1, Wolves 2.
I thought Ipswich would have done a lot better.
There'll certainly be things that we look back on and think that we got right. And there'll certainly be things that we look back on that we think maybe we could have done that a little bit differently.
Ipswich, I do think, are the favourites for the league.
Davis delivers high, left-footed! The stomping header is in! And would you believe it? It's Connor Chaplin!
I look at Ipswich's squad and think they're more than well equipped to go straight back up.
Here we go. The EFL is back on the talkSPORT network. It's bigger and better than ever before. And what better way to start?
Yes, Birmingham and Ipswich went their separate ways at the end of the 2023-24 season as the Blues went down to League One and the Tractor Boys up to the Premier League. But this season, they're back together in the Championship with one team on the up, that being Birmingham, having achieved 111 points last campaign as they won League One, whereas Ipswich only amassed 22, looking then to put behind a very disappointing Premier League campaign. Blues co-owner and NFL legend Tom Brady sat down with talkSPORT's Troy Deeney last week and is looking ahead to what should be an exciting season for players and fans alike.
Players to know that they have all the support they need for them to go out there and accomplish their goals. Certainly, the only people that really can get things done are the people that are within that locker room. And the staff and those players, they're the ones that are going to decide the fate of this season. It's our job and opportunity to help solve problems for them and to put them in a great position to succeed.
Yeah, Tom Brady, along with Tom Wagner, then part of the team that has invested into Birmingham, and got them up last season with Chris Davies at the helm as the manager. Joining us then for more on this, it's talkSPORT commentator, massive Birmingham fan as well, Ian Danter. Good morning. How are you, Dance?
Morning, Dance.
Hi, guys. How you doing? You all right?
Oh, well, you're not very excited. I thought you'd be like, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just trying to suppress the obvious excitement. The idea that back-to-back promotions is possible has been shown to us by teams like Ipswich and Southampton and Norwich City. So for a team like Birmingham City, it can be done to go through the divisions as Troy has suggested we can. But this is a very, very tough championship this year for so many reasons.
And Dance, the signings are brought in. You're pleased with the signings any more, or is that it now?
I think there's going to be more, Ray. I mean, there's enough. I mean, there's 9 that have come in already. And some of them are really high quality. Kyogo Furuhashi, who did so well at Celtic, has come in as a centre forward or maybe a number 10. Marvin Dukes, who we signed yesterday from Werder Bremen, who's got goals and assists in abundance in the Bundesliga over the past 2 or 3 seasons, is a really good acquisition, seeing as Lukas Jutkovic is now retired. Tommy Doyle coming in on loan from Wolves in midfield. That's brilliant. Bright Asai Samuel, James Beadle, Philip Neumann at centre-back, who's coming again from German football. The list goes on, Ray, of players that have come in to augment what was already pretty much a championship quality squad that got us out of League One. So there's every reason to be optimistic that this could be a good season for Birmingham.
Yeah, well, you're third favourites to go up, to be fair. So, the bookmakers don't get it wrong too often, and they really fancy your chances this year. But what a turnaround for the club, though, Dance, isn't it? I mean, you've seen it doom and gloom at times at Birmingham City, big club. But now suddenly they've got the owners, the backers, and everybody's so excited about Birmingham City going forward, I'm sure.
Yes, because there's so many plans in place. There's St Andrews has been completely transformed as a stadium under the new ownership. There's been massive capital investment in the stadium, but there's also the plans to move to a brand new stadium just over the road from St Andrews. And I think they've been buying up land. I think they've got about 60 acres worth of land that they've already got, which they plan to build not just a stadium on, but the academy, commercial properties, shops, restaurants, that sort of thing. So there's an awful lot of positivity, but the ground was the metaphor of the ground crumbling and the team crumbling because those 2 stands were closed at the bottom for such a long time at the ground. It just summed up what Birmingham were about for the previous 10, 12 years before Tom Wagner and the Knighthead group came in to completely transform things. It is a real complete 180 from what was going on before.
Yeah, no, if you've been fortunate to watch the Birmingham documentary, which I've done on Amazon, our certain Dance is part of that with his voiceover work. I love it. There is so much positivity from Tom Wagner that is in that, with Tom Brady too, how they're talking about their bigger aims. It's not just about consolidating in the Championship. It is very much looking to get back into the Premier League. And when you have owners, and of course all owners are positive, but when you hear owners that are like that truly understand what they want their journey to be on, that's got to be so exciting for Birmingham fans.
Oh yeah, everyone's buying into it, don't get me wrong. there's so much positivity about the place, and fans are starting to think, well, maybe we can. Why not? So, Birmingham's history has not exactly been littered with, stellar moments of double promotions. We haven't won this division in my lifetime. I think we won it in the 50s, the championship as it is now. It used to be called the second division, but we've only ever got promotion by coming second or playoffs whilst I've been on the planet. So, the idea of winning a title, it seems far-fetched considering we just come up, but Ipswich showed how it can be done a couple of years ago. Although the difference was, I think there was an element of surprise to Ipswich doing what they did. I don't think many people were talking about Ipswich after they won promotion from League One, that they were going to make a big fist of it in the Championship, whereas there's no secret about what Birmingham City are trying to do, and that you're talking about us here at 8:10 on a Friday morning on talkSPORT. It just shows that Birmingham are a club that are now being talked about and are being reckoned with as being a serious force in the Championship. So we've got that to work against as well.
Yeah, and you also have a certain Wrexham who are looking to create history too, with a fourth successive promotion push too. Before we let you go, Dance, a little bit earlier on, we were joined by Alan Stubbs. He was talking about being on a night out in Marbella with Jack Grealish. Before that, John McClure from Reverend of the Makers said he'd been on a night out just last night with Waddle and Hurst. So we just thought we'd ask you, any extraordinary nights out of late?
Well, not of late. Goodness. If it's extraordinary nights out with footballers...
Were the guys behind you on that picture?
Well, I'd have...
You'd love that.
I did meet Gene Simmons at talk's Towers about 12 years ago.
There you go.
I don't want to talk about that too much. I don't want to name drop too much, but I'm a good deal more sedate than I used to be in terms of nights out, Natalie, I have to tell you.
Oh, I'm sure the old rock and roll in you will come out every now and then, Dance. Listen, appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers, Dance.
Enjoy the season. Ian Danta will definitely be part of our coverage of the EFL and more as well. And what a weekend we have of Championship football for you across the talkSPORT network. It does begin tonight with Birmingham against Ipswich. Then tomorrow at 12:30, it's relegated Southampton versus 3 times in a row promoted Wrexham. Both those games live and exclusive to talkSPORT. Adrian Durham will then take you around the grounds in the Championship, Leagues 1 and 2, and much more as well from 2:30 tomorrow. West Brom versus Blackburn, Sheffield United versus Bristol City are the day's other 2 games. And we've also got Leicester versus troubled Sheffield Wednesday at 4:30 on Sunday. So those are all the games we're bringing you across the talkSPORT network over this weekend. Coming up, we're going to hear from a Spurs fan who is terrified ahead of this upcoming season after their 4-0 loss to Bayern in a friendly yesterday. Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. It's Ray Parlour and Natalie Sawyer with you until 10 o'clock this morning. And Tottenham fans, we want you to have your say this morning by calling in 03717 223344. Are you fearing the worst when you take on PSG on Wednesday in the UEFA Super Cup? How deflating has this transfer window been for you when you consider the Morgan Gibbs-White deal that you were in for, and then that fell away very, very quickly. And now James Maddison is out with an ACL injury. Your captain Son has left as well. So Thomas Frank, is he up against it? Let's speak to Clive, who's a Spurs fan, who's rung us this morning. Morning, Clive. How you doing?
How you doing, Clive?
Morning, Natalie. Morning, Renee. How you doing?
Yeah, we're all right, thank you. How are you feeling then about this season?
I'm terrified about the season, although I think we'll finish better than we did last year, because I think Thomas Frank will have us organised with the players he's got. But it's just the same old, same old. Every transfer window, right at the start, we're in, look at this big name we're signing, then it all falls apart. Now, what I can't understand, and maybe you guys know better than me, but we're apparently one of the top 10 richest clubs in the world. The money that we bring in through revenue and whatever, and we do nothing. Levy just will not spend. We are at least 60, 70 million pound players short of even competing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, there's got to be money there because Gibbs-White money was down on the table, wasn't it?
Exactly.
So that's still there because he hasn't gone there. But they certainly do need a few more players in. Position-wise, I mean, Maddison's a big blow for him. It really is a big blow. It's a big season for him as well. I mean, if he started well at Spurs and he was in that team and he's really, orchestrating that midfield area, he would have had a chance for the World Cup still. As much as he's probably back in the pecking order, but it's an opportunity for everybody in that England who's been in the England squad to maybe get back into it. So Jack Grealish should be one, Maddison would be another one, but now he's obviously out for the season. His World Cup's gone, but. Yeah, Spurs do need a few more signings because we know Champions League is very, it's so difficult to mix and match players. If you get a couple of injuries, you can be really, you rely on youngsters then, which you do is difficult.
Yeah, and to the point, we kind of saw that last season where it was, the Premier League suffered as a result with the European campaign that they had as well, which we all know ended successfully, but it hampers one or the other if you don't have that squad depth, and I'm sure that
there's still time. There's still time. I'm sure behind the scenes, Spurs are really working on certain players that they're looking at, and I can see definitely another couple of signings coming in Spurs before the window closes.
Yeah, let's speak to another Spurs fan, Darren. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning, Darren.
Good morning. I'm fine. My problem with Spurs is the way we do transfer business. This happens every year. We wait till the end of the window to actually spend the money. I'm surprised any Spurs fan sees it as any different because this is what we do every year.
Yeah, I mean, the ideal for everybody would be get your business done early, get a good pre-season with your new teammates and all that sort of stuff, and the manager can work with it. But it doesn't always work out like that. Darren, transfers now are so complicated. I mean, it's different from my era where you just 4-year contract, you're going to be on that a week. Just sign now there's all add-ons, this, that, whatever.
Image rights.
It's all sorts. So it's a lot more complicated. And plus, other clubs know certain clubs need players and they want the top money for them. Yeah, but you understand that because they've got to go and reinvest that money into to replace players. So it's a game of poker really during that transfer window. Who gives him first? A little bit like Garnacho now. Man United are desperate to get him out of the club. He's training on his own. He's no good for the club. So now Chelsea know that, and maybe he's worth 50 million, but they can put a little £35 million bid in, or whatever it's going to be, 30 million, and they'll probably get him because they need him out of the club. So it's like a game of poker at the moment. And whether Spurs are put bids in for other players and they're just waiting, you will have to wait and see. But It is ideally, from a manager's point of view, you want them in first out of window, and then you can work with them, you can get to know their characters, you can get to know what they're going to bring to the team, and move on.
Yeah. Darren, thank you very much for your call. By all means, get in touch as well if you want to have your say this morning. 03717 223344. That's the number you can call us on. It does make you think, though, should the transfer window really be shut before the season starts?
Should be.
It just makes things so much easier.
You could play 1-2 games for your club, and then you move.
Yeah, I know, exactly that.
I never understand that. It should be, if you're going to do it, when the season finishes, it opens.
Yep.
And when it starts, it closes.
Yeah, and obviously
very straightforward.
Uniform across
very straightforward.
every single league is what it should be. But yeah, frustrating that you have to have this August period of the unknown. The first 11 that you put out and the first game might not be the first 11 by the end of August, certainly the start of September. Anyway, let's bring you the latest odds right now with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Coral, the home of a free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Good morning, Dave Stevens.
Steve-O.
Good morning, Nat. Good morning, Ray. I feel like I've not spoken to you both for ages.
Yeah, where have you been, Steve-O?
First day back after the summer holidays at school, isn't it?
Yeah, with your new pencil case. Yeah, I love all that.
Yes,
Dave.
And you got married as well, Steve-O. Congratulations.
I did, Ray. We've made it over a month. So,
if it goes wrong, I've got a good lawyer.
Well, maybe not.
Well,
it's not mine.
Listen, she met Mr. Brazil at Goodwood last week and survived that. So.
Oh well, yeah. Alan said she was lovely. She likes a drop of wine as well. So he's right. That's what Alan said.
I'm saying nothing.
Let's first of all talk about the Championship. That is back, kicking off tonight with Birmingham against Ipswich. Before that, though, how are you feeling about Portsmouth?
Oh, well, we've had a modest transfer window, shall we say, which is not over yet, obviously. Look, it was interesting listening to Dance there. He certainly wasn't getting carried away with Birmingham, but I understand that. He's got lots to be carried away about. And at Portsmouth, look, another season, we just need to stay in there.
Yeah.
John Messino, I think, is a really, really good manager. He kept us up last year, which was the aim in the first season. We brought a few players in. Florian Bianchini from Swansea, probably the biggest name, but yeah, a modest transfer window. But you look at Birmingham, you look at some of those clubs, the Ipswiches, the Southamptons that have come down, the Wrexhams that have come up. You need money, Ray, even at that level. And I've always said, if there's anyone out there with a spare $500 million, want to spend it on Fratton Park and Portsmouth, you're more than welcome. But what a game tonight, Nat, to kick off with.
It's a tough one.
You've got two teams who weren't in the Championship last season, one coming up, one coming down. And interesting, Birmingham are fairly warm favourites to get off to a winning start, 11-8, looking to do what Ipswich did, of course, back-to-back promotions. 2-1 Ipswich, 9-4 the draw. No surprise, these two teams, both prominent in the betting. Ipswich 11-all favourites for the Championship, Birmingham 6-1 third favourites. It's really exciting for us, actually, as at Coral. We are the official betting partner of Birmingham. And to celebrate that, or as part of that, we've actually launched a fundraising initiative. Tonight it starts. Every home goal for the men's and women's team in all competitions at Birmingham, at St Andrews, will donate £500 to the Birmingham City Foundation. So we want lots of home goals until Portsmouth go there, of course, and then I'm hoping for a clean sheet. But I mean, Ray, listen, it's a great club to be involved in. They are really in this for the long run, the owners there, and hopefully they're going to build something great. Ray, in terms of the Championship outright betting, I know you like a little lacquer on the four leagues. I mean, it is a tough league, isn't it? Ipswich worthy favourites? How do you see it?
Yeah, I can see Ipswich being favourites. I think Birmingham are going to be right up there. Southampton is certainly going to be in the mix as well. But Wrexham would be, could they do it four years running, which would be amazing. If we can get 4 promotions, which would be incredible. I mean, that would certainly be off the charts, really, if Wrexham could do it. It could, proper dream come true, this is.
I mean, obviously, live on talkSPORT tomorrow. Again, it's a promoted team versus a relegated team. Southampton odds on 8-11, 4-1 Wrexham, 11-4 the draw. So again, we'll get an idea of Wrexham's how they might. It's very early days, obviously. A couple of other big games I thought sort of stood out: West Brom versus Blackburn, 4-5 West Brom, 18-5 Blackburn. And Frank Lampard, I thought, did a brilliant job, obviously, last year. They've got to get over the disappointment of the playoffs. They've got to take heart from that. They're odds on to get off to a winning start. against Hull tomorrow. But as I say, anyone that follows Championship football knows what a tough league it is to get. The games come thick and fast, and you need the big squads. And I suppose that's why we think the likes of Birmingham, Ipswich, obviously are going to be there or thereabouts.
So that's the Championship. Now, we always say the traditional curtain raiser is the Community Shield. Not quite the same when the EFL is already underway. But anyway, it is Liverpool against Crystal Palace at Wembley on Sunday.
Yeah, Ray, you'd have played in these. Glorified pre-season friendly or something the players take seriously?
Well, a lot of the time we played Manchester United, so it was a big game because you want to put one over. It is a friendly, but you can get a lot out of winning that friendly, especially against the rivals you're going to go up against to try and win the league. It might be a little bit different with Liverpool, with Crystal Palace. They're not going to go for the title, but it's still a big game. It's well watched, and it'll be another trophy. I don't count it as a trophy. I've won it 3 times, I think, the Charity Shield, but I wouldn't put that down as my trophy. Oh. It's nice to win it. There's no doubt about that, and it'll be in the pictures of probably the team if they do win it with the title, but. It is a big game if you're playing one of your real rivals. Yeah. If it was Liverpool, Man City, or Liverpool, Arsenal, then it's even bigger because you want to get one over on the team you're going to be going up against is trying to win the league. But I think Palace, what a season they had last year. I really hope they win this appeal to get into the Europa League because they deserve it. What they achieved last year. So Palace fans will be very optimistic. They done it against Man City, so they could do it against Liverpool.
Yeah, look, Palace 4-1 shots to win this game on Sunday. Liverpool no surprise odds on 3-1 the draw. Look, Liverpool appear to have had a really strong transfer window. I know no trophies are handed out at the end of the transfer window, but they've had a good one. And I'm with you. I really hope Palace stay in the Europa League because they deserve it after those cup heroics.
Yeah, well, that hearing is taking place right now, I believe, at the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Thank you very much, Dave. Enjoy the season with Portsmouth. Thank you. That was Dave Stevens from Coral. It's 18 and over, gambleaware.org.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Coral, the home of the free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Corinthian Casuals are a team in the Combined Counties League Premier Division South. Despite that, they're one of the most important clubs in world football. Here's why. The club was formed in 1939 as the result of a merger between Corinthians FC and Casuals FC. Now, Corinthians FC were founded in the late 1800s when the FA's top brass were absolutely sick of getting pumped by Scotland every time they played them. As a result, Nicholas Lane Jackson set up an amateur side which would bring in the best players who could all play for the national side. And it worked. It wasn't long before England were dominating the international fixtures they played, and it was largely down to Corinthians. In fact, in 1894 and 1895, they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money, but instead of entering league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. Think of it like the Harlem Globetrotters of football, and it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil, and the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest clubs in Brazil.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast with the Arnold Clark app. Buy a car and opt in to Arnold Clark Rewards to enjoy access to great giveaways and everyday perks. It's Ray Parlour and Natalie Sawyer with you until 10, and talkSPORT bring you the return of the Championship this weekend, and you can hear Birmingham versus Ipswich this evening. But on Sunday, you can also tune in to the Premier League champions taking on the FA Cup holders as talkSPORT brings you the Community Shield.
The Premier League title is coming back to Anfield after a 5-year absence.
Nobody had Liverpool to win the league, and now you think to yourself, why? Why didn't we see it? I mean, those players, nothing changed.
Comes back to Salah, he puts it into an empty net, and Liverpool lead.
The other games in pre-season, I think we've conceded a few chances too much. Yeah, that's not what you want, especially not if you play Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace win the FA Cup for the very first time.
This is the biggest achievement what we could give to our supporters.
It's a long journey to win a cup final. You know, you need to go through a lot of processes, and that club's building and building.
Oh, what a strike from Adam Wharton!
Another great opportunity, chance to win another trophy, which would be amazing.
It's a long, storied history that has always been slowly heading towards this day.
Yes, Liverpool have had a summer of big signings, but as for Crystal Palace, it's perhaps been more of a summer of trying to keep hold of theirs. With all that in mind, can the South London side do what they did to Manchester City, to Liverpool, and win on Sunday? Let's speak to the former Palace midfielder and coach, Sean Derry, who joins us. Sean, good morning. How are you doing today?
Morning, Sean.
Morning, guys. How are you both?
Yeah, we're really, really well, thank you. It's been a bit sort of quiet on the transfer window front for Crystal Palace, but I suppose at this present moment in time, with talk of a few of your players, or a few of the Palace players being linked with moves away, it feels like you're in a bit more of a stable position right now, is what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, it's been an interesting summer, obviously on the back of the FA Cup win. I think there was a lot of excitement going into this new season, obviously. Just here and there on your reports about the casts hearing this morning, and obviously, you know, what the output is going to look like on Monday. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people, players, staff, everybody connected with Crystal Palace, supporters, of course, you know, really nervous, but looking forward to this game on Sunday.
Yeah, just looking at the season last year, Sean, I think the manager done such a great job, didn't he? I mean, Palace are always tough to beat anyway at Selhurst Park, but he really, the attacking football he played as well. You know, sometimes they sit off a little bit with the bigger teams, but they really went at the teams who come up at Selhurst Park, and they really were exciting to watch, wasn't they?
Well, I watched them quite a few times last year, Ray, and of course into the semi-final and the final at Wembley. The semi-final performance against Aston Villa was absolutely fantastic. It really was. It was an amazing performance, and rightly so, took them into the final. And then I just thought the way that Oliver Glasner had his troops organised for that FA Cup final. And I remember they lost 5-3 in the league, and he took a lot from that. And the experience that he had from that game, and then a masterclass against Manchester City with a brilliant performance. None more so than Dean Henderson in goal. He was brilliant on the day. So they're going to need all that experience from last year to take them into this weekend's game.
I mean, like you mentioned there, after that FA Cup success, I suppose there would have been a lot of hope for what's to come this summer, in the sense of bringing in new players, because you've got a European competition to look forward to. But as we know, we're still waiting to know what competition that is. But keeping hold of Eze, keeping hold of Gay here at present, do you think that might give you a little bit of an edge going into this game on Sunday, in the sense of you'll have that familiarity in this squad, whereas Arne Slot has a number of players he's still got to bed in, gel with his teammates, or, as you both know what it's like to play, does that not really matter, because the ones that are coming in at Liverpool probably will be a fairly up to speed?
Well, that's a really interesting point, Natalie, because obviously there weren't too many changes, either, in the squad or on the pitch. I guess the 13 main players for Crystal Palace, they played the majority of the season. And of course, with the amount of changes that Liverpool are able to make, I guess it'll be more of an extension of pre-season. But I don't think Crystal Palace will take it that way. I think it'll be the start of their season. It's a major game for Crystal Palace. They've not played in this competition before, so interesting now what Ray said before we came on air there about him not really thinking about it being a major title or a major cup for him. I think it's probably going to be slightly different for the Palace players. Yeah.
Well, yeah, certainly. I mean, if you get one over on Liverpool, who are favourites to win the league, then it puts you in a good position, like belief going forward. But just on Palace itself, like, the fans got to be realistic. It was brilliant. It was a brilliant season last year. What is a good finish this year, Sean, for Palace? Is it mid-table? Can they do something a little bit better and try and get in that top 8, or is it being realistic and saying, well, look, if we go mid-table, it's a very, very good season again?
Yeah, it's a great question, because they have, always been that team for the last 11, 12 years that have sat in around the middle of the table, lower part of the table. But that win last year, the FA Cup win, gave so much expectation and encouragement that the club could progress and move forward. The problem I have, or not me, but I guess, reading between the lines, speaking to Palace fans who live local to me, is that there's a slight disappointment that more players have not come through the door. And I don't know whether that's because obviously they don't know what European competition they're going to be playing in, and maybe players are waiting. But there is that kind of nervousness, I think, leading into the into this season.
And talking of this hearing then that's taking place in Switzerland at the Court of Arbitration for Sport, Steve Parish is there along with Palace delegates and their legal team as well. It's whether or not they're going to play Europa League or Conference League next season. Now, as we know, UEFA have already demoted them. But as we say, Palace have taken this to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Palace fans, as we know, unhappy with that decision, unhappy that it's Forest who have been promoted above them as well. What do you think in terms of the situation with this appeal and how that does affect things? You said there, that's maybe why they've been a bit slow in the transfer market. But is that the case, that it does really depend on what competition they end up in?
I think it's massive, Natalie, the outcome on Monday. For many reasons, of course, there'll be different financial gains for the different competitions. I guess Palace are going to have to win the Europa Conference just to match the money that they would be getting maybe to go into the second or third round of the Europa Cup. But I think from a player's perspective, let's take, for example, Eze and Mark Gay. I'm sure they'll be looking at Monday thinking it's quite pivotal in the decisions that they make for this season.
Yeah. Just quickly, before we hit the break, the news of your son, Jesse, moving to Chelsea. Tell us all about that.
Yeah, brilliant opportunity for Jess. Fantastic. You know, he's like myself, he's had a great time at Crystal Palace. And, you know, when some of the clubs came calling at the end of this last season, it was just felt like the right thing to do. A brilliant opportunity. He's only young, he's 18, but he's got good ability. Definitely different type of player to what I was. And we're looking forward to it. And, you know, he's going to a massive football club. It's going to be difficult to break him, but, you know, Chelsea have developed players in the past, not just in their team, but into other teams as well. So a brilliant opportunity for Jess.
Yeah. It certainly is.
Tell him good luck.
Yeah, we wish him the best
Thank you
of
very
luck.
much. Appreciate that, guys.
And Sean, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Take care.
All right, let's look ahead to the next hour of the show with Benchmarks.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarks Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarks.
We are going to be joined by legendary EFL manager Neil Warnock at 9 and ask him whether the Championship is truly the toughest league in the world, as the Times claims this morning, whether Wrexham and Birmingham are set for back-to-back promotions as well, and just how sad is he about the state of events as Sheffield Wednesday. But up next, what did Ray say to Arsenal wonder kid even, Max Dowan out in Singapore? That's next.
I was going to buy you at least 3 pints after the show. Now that's it.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With 250 hire branches nationwide, it's easy to hire at Travis Perkins.
Why do I find it hard to write the next line? Oh, I want the truth to be said. All right, here we go.
Big build up.
I know this much is true.
Oh, how lovely is that for this Friday morning? This is talkSPORT Breakfast.
Good, I know
very good. Ray Parlour, Natalie Sawyer with you until 10, and yes, you can hear.
Definitely struggling with a
The wonderful voice there of a certain Scottish legend. There is a buzz around the office because we do have a couple of legends returning to the office on Monday. Super Ali McCoy is back in the studio with Jeff Stelling on talkSPORT Breakfast from 6, and then they're followed by the return of Jim White with Simon Jordan, who will once again bring more fireworks, as they always do, from 10. If that's not enough for you and you're into your music, then you can always swipe on the talkSPORT app to listen to Chris Evans on Virgin Radio. So that's if you love your music, such as Oasis, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Stereophonics, then swipe on the talkSPORT app to Virgin Radio and hear from Chris Evans, who also makes a return. Now, it's time for Daddy Ray Care.
She's crazy like
Oh dear. Right, just to emphasise, it's Daddy Ray Care. Ray, the Romford Pele Parlour. You've recently gone viral online for your photo alongside the 15-year-old Arsenal wonder kid Max Dowman while on pre-season in Asia. I'm not going to read this. So you're probably old enough to be his dad. It's just not necessary. I mean, yeah, absolutely. One user on X tweeted, 15? That's how many pints I had for breakfast, so someone said there. But maybe these people don't remember that you have 3 Premier Leagues, 4 FA Cups, 1 League Cup and a Cup Winners' Cup to your name as well. So we thought this is a good opportunity for you to impart your advice.
What, to Max?
To Max, yeah. Or any young...
Don't come out with me. That's what I said to him. I'm going out to...
That's rule number one. A given.
No, I just said to him, just keep working hard. And, you know, it's really refreshing to see a 15-year-old with so much, you know, ability, will to... Not. Do you know what I put it back to was people like Jack Wilshere I saw coming through the ranks at 15, 16. He wasn't fazed by the bigger players. He wasn't. He just went out and done his stuff and played his football. And he was such a great little player, Jack. And Fabregas was another one who come into the youth team and he come and train with the first team. And straight away you're going, he's going to be a player. Mm-hmm. You can tell straight away. And that's how I can see Max. Look, they've got some really good youngsters with Max as well. But, you know, I just said, look, keep training hard. And what I liked about it, I said to him, well done on AC Milan when he come on, because he made a really big... You know, when he come on, he wasn't fazed by playing against, you know, AC Milan players who were very experienced, but he just went out there and played his stuff and, you know, dropped his shoulder going past players, making things happen for the team. And I just said to him, keep working hard, keep doing what you're doing. And what he come back and said, right, I could have done a bit better then. I said, well, wait a minute, you're only 15 and a half. Let's not get too above.
Very critical already.
Yeah, exactly. But I like that because he knows he can improve. He knows he can do better in certain situations in games. And, you know, he's got a massive future in front of him. I met his mum and dad, and I'm sure they will keep his feet on the ground as well, which is very important. And just learn a lot from the other players because there's a lot of experience. Declan Rice in that midfield, same sort of area. Odegaard is a great player as well. He can learn off those sort of guys. And, you know, who knows where he can go? You know, it's a long way to go, but who knows where he can be taken? He could become one of the best players ever. You know, that's how good he is. But he does just open with a magic wand. You've got to work hard and really, really concentrate every single day in training and this, that, whatever to get to where he wants to get to.
Yeah.
But what I've seen so far, he's a very special player.
Well, let's take a little listen into a young Ray Parlour speaking in obviously one of his first interviews for Arsenal ahead of the...
This was a bet, by the way. This was a bet.
Is it? All right, well, let's hear it then. This was ahead of the FA Cup final.
Ray Parlour, one suspects this is a particularly big game for someone who, not long ago, was an Arsenal trainee.
Yeah, obviously 2 years ago I was playing in the youth team and now I'm playing at Wembley, so obviously I'm just going to enjoy myself and hopefully come out on the winning side.
Can you enjoy yourself?
Obviously, if you go out there and try and enjoy yourself, I think it brings the best out here. We're going to go out and try and enjoy ourselves and obviously try and get the result.
How does the occasion compare to the Coca-Cola final?
Obviously, it's the biggest cup in the world in my eyes. Obviously, it's good to win the Coca-Cola, but overall, I'd rather win this one than the Coca-Cola, and obviously we're going to go out and try and win it.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Oh, that was a young...
Obviously.
I think that was about 7.
No, 7 or 8,
yeah.
But we did have a bet on it, though.
Who with?
All the players.
Oh, okay, all of them.
I'm just going to say that for the sake of...
that might be more sensible. But that's something you're not going to say
Obviously,
to Max to do, is
it's 8:54, we got a break. Is that right or not?
No, it's not.
Okay.
We've still got a bit of time.
Okay.
But okay, all right. That was a bit.
But Max is, as I said before, but there's a lot of good young players at Arsenal at the moment. Skelly, I love the way he's playing. Left back, he's signed a new contract, which is great. Waneri signed his new contract, so you know this is the future from Arsenal, and hopefully they can improve like. If they can improve like they have done so far, they can be top players. And England will benefit as well.
Yes, that's true.
Which is fantastic.
We were learning earlier on you've joined Tik Tok. Would you tell Max to stay away from things like that for now?
Well, social media is good in certain ways. I mean, it's good that you can communicate with fans, but it also, if you haven't got a strong mind or strong character, it can really affect you.
It really can.
You don't need a million... You know when you play poorly...
Yeah.
As a player, and you get told by your manager, look, you got to do better and whatever. You don't need another million people to tell you you've had a bad game as well. Yeah. And if you're not strong-minded or strong character, then it could affect you going forward. So, in an ideal world, I would keep away from social media, but it's a massive tool for players, and you can see how many followers players have, and you know it's their future really. I mean, financially it's good for them as well, and they can do certain things when they finish their careers and all that sort of stuff. So it won't go away, but I just say to him, be careful with it. You know, don't get too engrossed in it.
Maybe one of the things when there's a game, you've had a game, don't go on it.
Yeah,
have a break.
I mean, look, if you played well, you might get that little bit of ego and played really well and whatever. I'm sure he's got that when he was on pre-season tour, when he's played for Newcastle and AC Milan and teams like that. But it can affect you as well. If you know, you get some idiots on there and have a go and all this sort of stuff. So it's got its plus points, it's got its minus points.
Yes,
getting the right balance.
Certainly so, and I think that's the best message.
And I think there's a lot of help now with youngsters in clubs to say about social media and all that sort of stuff.
Well, they have to.
They have to be,
don't they? Yeah,
because it can affect certain youngsters.
All right, coming up in the next hour, EFL legendary manager Neil Warnock is joining us, and we'll get more get more expert insight into the beautiful game like he gave us recently.
What would you do with Jamie, Neil? Now, like say Jamie was playing now, right? He's normally his fighting weight is 11 stone. He's about 15 stone now.
What would I do if he was playing for me?
Yeah,
I'd sell him.
to the Tractor Boys, the Eagles to the Seagulls. Gunners, Bees, Hammers and Magpies. Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Let's start with Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ye Ancient Everton Toffee House and Mother Noblet's Toffee Shop were big fan favourites. Next, they say if you can't beat 'em, join 'em, and that's exactly what Ipswich Town did when it came to their nickname. The term Tractor Boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire's also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves two club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles." And some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them, like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Build your own car deal online or with just a few clicks. They make buying your next car easy. A very good morning to you. I'm Natalie Sawyer, and with me this morning it's Arsenal Invincible Ray Parlour. On the way for you before 10 o'clock, the CEO of Boxer, Ben Shalom, will be here live in the studio after announcing that they'll be moving to the BBC in a new deal for free-to-air boxing. And talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook, on his very own birthday, will bring us up to date with all the very latest transfer news and rumours. But it's now time for us to look ahead to the EFL action with the Fantasy EFL game as it's back tonight, live on talkSPORT.
EFL preview on talkSPORT with the Fantasy EFL game. 72 EFL clubs, 72 season tickets up for grabs. Download it today and use the code TSPORT12 to join the talkSPORT League.
Championship. Are you ready for it? Fired into the bottom right-hand corner. It's 2-0 Southampton. It's in! It's in! Ipswich are level!
Palmer checks onto his right and scores a brilliant goal back for Sheffield United.
The championship can't be beaten.
Wonderful goal from Abdul Michael Fatawu, his second of the night. Leicester's third.
Sakamoto up against Dilling Jr. Gets the cross in left-footed. Radoni! Coventry lead!
You just can never sit comfortably in the Championship.
The ball inside the area!
And Stansfield does it again.
What we're trying to accomplish is all about what you're doing today, not about what you did 2 years ago or 5 years ago. It's about what you do today.
What a strike! Ollie Rathbone sends the racecourse into raptures. You just never know which twist any game is going to turn next.
Yes, that's right. The wait for Championship football is almost over, and we kick off the season with Birmingham versus Ipswich live tonight here on talkSPORT. So we thought, who is the best person, Ray, that we could talk
there's only
to
one person
about Championship football? Of course, there is no one better than legendary manager Neil Warnock. Good morning, Neil.
Good morning, Neil.
Natalie. Morning, Ray.
Thank
you for that, Natalie.
It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the Championship is back tonight. Leagues 1 and 2 kicked off last season.
Yeah.
Even though, you are retired, is this the sort of time where you think, I do miss it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've been in training a couple of times with Torquay. I'm just helping them out a bit. And even at, the lads there, the dressing room, Ray knows, you can't replicate that anywhere. Whatever you do, you can't replicate that dressing room banter, and I do miss that, yeah.
So how do you think everyone's going to be feeling coming into this new season? Are most managers optimistic?
They are, but most of them are nervous. I mean, I've always, right through my career, I couldn't eat anything on a Saturday after 9 o'clock in the morning. My stomach was going round on the nerves, and I think that's a good sign, really. There's so much expectation when you look around the Championship, and it is, for me, the best league in the world. I love the Championship, and it's got a bit of everything, because the worst team can beat the best team any day of the week, and it's just, I think it's more interesting. I'm not knocking the modern football and the pass, but it sends me to sleep. And I look at the Championship and it's blood and thunder, and then there are teams that play like that. It's got such a great mixture that I just like it. I like the tattles flying in and the headers, and it's good.
No
and
VAR.
Yeah, and this season, I mean, wow. I mean, where do you start? I mean, Ipswich are bound to be the favourites. I had Tuber Akpan with me up at Middlesbrough, so I'm not sure about that. But Birmingham, Chris Davis has done a good job as well. Sheffield United, I think Ruben Sells is a very lucky man to get a job like that, if I'm honest, after what he did at Hull. But and then you look at your Middlesbrough, one of my old clubs, and I think. I still don't understand why they didn't give Josh Coburn a chance up there. He's a local lad, and you need some local lads, and they've never really cracked it. And I think he's doing well at Millwall now. And Rob Edwards is, he's got a job on his hands there. But you look at the Leicesters, the Southamptons, and everybody like that, and you wouldn't say that Leicester and Southampton are guaranteed in this year, like you would. I mean, I look at my other old club, QPR, and. I might go and look at them next week. They're playing the Cup down here, down at Plymouth, and Norwich. And Gary Rowett's done such a good job at Oxford. I mean, just to keep them in the league, people don't understand what that took. That were as good as a promotion, keeping Oxford up. And Mikel Hellick, who I had at Huddersfield, fabulous leader. So they've got a chance. Hull City, I fear for. Sheffield Wednesday. Well, I don't know what you can say about them, really. I do feel so sorry for them. I know you might laugh at that when I'm a Unitedite, but I do feel sorry for them. It's always been great rivalry. That was the best club almost in the country when I was growing up.
Yeah. Well, Neil, do you know the plight of Sheffield Wednesday? And look, there are a number of clubs that we know have financial difficulty, but it's according to the Telegraph this morning, they are so broke they cannot even afford sock tape. Their suppliers aren't sending them sock tape anymore because they're not paying.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no.
Extraordinary.
I don't know I mean, I would have thought by now the Football League could have brought some powers in to prevent this type of thing happening. I don't know how they can do legally. I'm not into that, but it is a shame when you lose all your best players have gone now because of the contract situation. Henrik Pedersen, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
I mean, it's bad enough being in the Championship when you're experienced, without being inexperienced, although probably in a way it might be a good thing that he's not experienced. He hasn't got anything to worry about as much. So it's a difficult position for him, and it is a great club. I mean, they get 30-odd thousand in the Championship, and it's such a shame. When you look around, I mean, even at your time, Ray, you'll have had some good...
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they used to play the semi-finals at Hillsborough.
Yeah.
That was the ground.
Unbelievable. I mean...
I once saw Pele, Ray.
Yeah.
I went on the Cop at Hillsborough when I was a kid with my sister and brother. She was a Wednesday night Carol. And we went up on the Cop and we watched Santos play Sheffield Wednesday in a friendly, in a floodlights. I was absolutely gobsmacked. The atmosphere on the Cop, and Pele got a penalty in front of the Cop, and he come up and take it. And we'd never seen that before, you know, where he ran up and stopped, the goalie dived, and he side-footed it in. I remember Colin Dobson he got a penalty later on. He tried the same and nearly fell over. So it was. I've got some happy memories.
Just looking at that, Neil. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday you mentioned now, and it's terrible. Hopefully they can get that sorted out or move on. But then you look at teams like Birmingham City, who they was in that sort of situation 10 years ago, and something's happened. Obviously, the club itself, Wrexham is another one. What a story that is, Neil. Can they get 4 promotions this season?
I think Wrexham will do well to get in that anywhere near the top 6 this year. Phil's done a good job, Phil Parkinson, but he's going to have a tough dressing room this year. You know, he signed people like Conor Cody and Josh Windass. I think Lewis O'Brien's a cracking signing. I've always liked that lad. But, you know, I think of the two, I think Birmingham's got more, you know, Jay Stansfield. I mean, I tried to sign him. I tried to get my chairman to pay $3 million for him, and they said no. And in the end, I'm glad he's doing what he's doing, because it just shows you what a good player he is.
Who would you fancy, Neil? If you was, you know, someone said, there you go, put your money down, who would you be looking? Is it one of the 3 that come down?
No, I don't. Well, I mean, I quite fancy Birmingham, if I'm honest. I think they've got a steady squad, me. I can't see Leicester. Ipswich should. I mean, Ipswich should win it. If I was putting money on it, if I were one of you lads in the bookies with you and Alan, I'd put money on it, on them. But I don't, you know, like I said, they'd just signed Tuber Akpon, and I had the lad, you know, so I'm not 100% sure that... Ipswich, you know, will do as well as what people think, but they should do. Sheffield United, I'm not, you know, they've lost some good players, but they haven't got Gus Hamer, and they've got the best goalkeeper, Ray. This Michael Cooper, I've always thought he'll play for England, this lad, and he's playing for Sheffield United, signing from Plymouth, and I've watched him since he was about 14, and I'm surprised one of the big clubs, although I'm pleased in a way because he's going to get more games as well. Yeah. So, but you watch him over the net. And Coventry, nobody said anything. I mean, how they didn't win the playoffs, I'll never know. And Jack Radoni, one of the best players I've ever managed, a lovely lad, and an absolute jewel for Frank in the dressing room.
Well, while we've got you here, Neil, we're just going to play a little video that we've come across from some, interesting figures involved in 3 championship clubs.
Yeah.
Snoop, what's up, buddy?
Hey, fellas, what's cracking? Bought me a football club.
I love football.
Not an American football club. The one where they actually use their feet. Swansea, baby.
Welcome to the beautiful world of English football where grown men cry over ties.
Oh, yeah, man. It's a whole new world. Now, imagine if Chess and Downton Abbey had a baby, and then that baby got into a bar fight with a marching band.
I'm here for the culture, the passion, the chaos, and to get Brady back for all those damn Super Bowls he hit my team with.
I've won a lot of Super Bowls, all right? Quick crash course. Win enough games, you move up to the next league. Lose too many, you drop. It's ruthless.
I like it when the stakes are high.
Don't sleep on the away days. That's where legends are made.
Let me know when y'all want to roll through Swansea. I had the kids pressed up and the playlist loaded. Locked and loaded.
Wait, does Swansea have a pub in the stadium?
They do now.
Welcome to the club, Snoop.
Let's run it up.
Okay, just to clarify, you've got Snoop.
I think the game's gone, Neil.
Well, this is what we're coming to. We've got the rapper Snoop Dogg, who's involved at Swansea. Tom Brady, the NFL legend. Rob McElhenney, co-owner of Wrexham, actor as well. I mean, it's going very Hollywood, but as Ray said, it's all Well, the game's gone, perhaps.
Hey, Ray, we all love soccer, don't we?
It was the ties. Crying over ties.
We'll be calling it soccer all the day now. Well, everybody will be calling it soccer.
No, we don't want that, do we?
No, but it's good for investment. Listen, when you look where Birmingham were, I mean, they've had some bad years, and it's a good club. I like it. And Wrexham, I've got a picture of me and my oldest son sat on the bench at Wrexham, and the picture is great. You know, when I first started in management, I think of Notts County, and I always thought that were a fabulous atmosphere as well. So I'm really pleased for their fans. They all deserve a little bit of glamour, and you know what goes around. And I think you know I'm looking forward to how they go.
Yeah. Well, Neil, it's always brilliant to get you on. Thank you for being with us today.
Okay,
Cheers, Neil.
Thanks, Ray. At least I missed you at Goodwood.
Goodwood, you had a great time, didn't you? I love that comment with Jamie O'Hara. Sell him.
I had a good time.
You wouldn't get a lot for him, but you sell him anyway.
I had to keep ignoring Alan and going round the corner when he was going to the bar light.
Clever. See, you've learned there, Neil.
All right.
Brilliant.
Nice to see you.
Take it easy, Neil.
That was a look ahead to the EFL action with the Championship starting tonight with the Fantasy EFL game. 72 EFL clubs, 72 season tickets up for grabs. Download it today and use the code TSPORT12 to join the talkSPORT League. Coming up, we're going to bring you some incredibly exciting news for boxing fans.
EFL preview on talkSPORT with the Fantasy EFL game. 72 EFL clubs, 72 season tickets up for grabs. Download it today and use the code TSPORT12 to join the talkSPORT League.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. It's Ray Parlour and Natalie Sawyer with you until 10. And we're going to bring you some exciting news that's landed overnight for fans of boxing. Top promotional company and friends of talkSPORT, Boxer, have announced a new partnership with BBC Sport. The move will see world-class professional boxing return to Saturday night primetime television and BBC iPlayer as well on free-to-air basis. The new deal opens boxing up to all audiences, making the sport more accessible than ever. And full details of the first fight undercard and BBC Sport presenting team will be announced in the coming weeks. Pleased to say, joining us to talk more about this is the founder and CEO of Boxer, Ben Shalom. Ben, morning.
Good morning, Ben.
Morning.
Bit early for you, Ben.
Far too early. I should be on the lunchtime show. I have made that. No, but good to be with you. It's been a amazing 24 hours.
What an announcement. How long has this been in the making?
A long time. It was something that I didn't think would be possible. It was something that we dreamt of doing, was bringing boxing back to primetime BBC. I think it's been 25 years.
Is it?
And it's what you want for the sport. You know, it's how the sport develops, it's how it grows, it's how it creates the household names. This sport of boxing is sort of taking over at the moment. I think the younger audiences as well, they're all engaging. But for us, it's how do we get it in front of the biggest possible audience? And I have to thank everyone. I have to thank the BBC because, you know, for them, this is a monumental move to put, as I say, world-class boxing on primetime television.
And if you like sport, Saturday nights is the day, isn't it? To stay in and boxing on just before match of the day.
It is. So everything all week will be shown on the BBC iPlayer, and then we'll have the best slot I think you could possibly ask for. A couple of two and a half hours leading into match of the day, multi-fight, multi-year deal. So I think obviously it's amazing for us and myself and Boxer and the fighters, but I genuinely believe for the sport it's a historic moment for boxing, and we're always competing for eyeballs with other sports. We're always wanting to be on the front pages, and this puts us firmly in the front page.
But also when you consider there are a lot of sports that, yes, you have to pay a subscription for, but still there are a lot that are accessible on free-to-air viewing. So to have boxing now as part of that, as you say, to just try and garner new fans of boxing, it's just brilliant.
It's the moments, isn't it? You saw the Lionesses and you've seen the cricket and the moments of sport where it brings the nation together. And I think sometimes boxing, because sometimes it's so far removed from the everyday man in the street, it might be on big streaming platforms, or it might be too expensive or whatnot, to have these major moments of the major British stars having defining moments in the sport in front of massive record-breaking audiences. That's what sport is all about.
And also youngsters who can't get an opportunity sometimes of pay-per-views and all that sort of stuff. Now they can watch it and get into the sport themselves, can't they?
Exactly. So hopefully, you know, we'll see the effects of this
young boxers
over the next 5 or 10 years because, boxing's always been that sort of murky sport, the ugly sister, so to speak. But I think that's completely changed in the past 5 to 10 years. I think it's extremely well respected. We're seeing participation go through the roof. We're seeing the government get involved. We're seeing what it does for kids on the street. I think the BBC have recognised that and said, you know what, now is the right time to bring this sport back onto the BBC.
And when is the first one, Ben?
It's going to be sooner than you think. We've got an announcement in very, very soon.
Breaking news on talkSPORT.
I got to be careful.
Can't say what it is.
I'm joking.
I've been warned.
Don't get married out there.
I've been warned about this, but it will be a spectacular first event.
Just whisper it in there.
Yeah.
But you mentioned there, 25 years since the BBC last?
25 years, yeah.
But why? What's taken it away from the BBC? Is it merely the money of, Sky, etc.?
I think look, money's one thing, but priorities. You know, we see Wimbledon, we see Match of the Day, we see the football, we see other sports, the cricket, the Test cricket, the major sort of crown jewels, so to speak, taking priority, taking precedence on the BBC. For them to recognise boxing now as one of those crown jewels is phenomenal. It's phenomenal, and I think it's got to that point now where they felt it's the right time for them, and obviously it's the right time for us as well.
It's so exciting, like we're saying, for boxing and hopefully to get, as we say, new fans on board as well. In terms of the financial incentives, though, for boxers, how does that change with the BBC or nothing at all?
Nothing for us. So we have signed an exclusive free-to-air partnership, so we will still be doing our pay-per-view events and the bigger, sort of marquee events where you have to charge.
Gotcha.
But the same events that we've been doing free to air for the past 3 or 4 years will now migrate onto the BBC. So you are talking the biggest and the best names that we have, and it's very exciting.
And the ones who can't make the big cards and that sort of stuff, that now there's an opportunity to get their names out there, isn't there? Especially on BBC.
I think when you look at the sport, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury have held it up for a very, very long time, and they're still sort of fighting here and there, but coming towards the end of the career. You worry about who's the next star, who's the household name, and you have a lot of talented fighters not being seen, not being built in the same way those guys were, and therefore not being able to carry the sport in the same way. This opportunity gives the next Anthony Joshua, the next Olympians, the next guys that want to make their name in their first 10, 15 fights to be seen by millions and millions of people. And I think it's those guys, it's the guys that want to be the next Anthony Joshua, the guys that want to be the next Tyson Fury, before they naturally will migrate as a pay-per-view star. The quickest and the best and the fastest and the most powerful way of becoming a household name is on primetime television.
Yeah. And some of the venues then for these particular boxing events that you're talking about on the BBC, are they smaller ones?
Big.
How big?
As I say, we're doing the biggest shows that we can. We're doing all the shows that we've been doing the past 3 or 4 years all around the country, the big arenas, the Co-op Live, the Manchester Arena, the O2, the Birmingham Utilita, all around the country. We're going to be taking the biggest stars in their defining fights. You know, we've been building our stable for 3 or 4 years, and a lot of the big names are now coming to the forefront in their biggest nights, in their biggest fights, which will be on the BBC. So it's it's massive. And as I say, to get the support from them across the business, this is the entertainment shows, this is the One Show, this is all their collateral, this is the BBC Sport, this is iPlayer, this is Strictly Come Dancing, this is BBC News, we are going to create entertainment out of this sport, and we're going to create the next big names.
Yeah.
How did it start for you, Ben? Boxer, it started in 2018. Was it always a dream, was it? Or how did you get into it?
I was 21, 22. I'd grown up in Manchester around boxing and absolutely loved the sport, and had friends that were fighters, and at that time I was just desperate not to get a job. And I tried my best to work in the sport and find my way into a route, and did every sort of job from ticket selling to counting the wristbands to doing the international sales to doing the sponsorship, and eventually felt like I knew enough to start going out by myself, and became the youngest licensed promoter a few years ago. And it's been a crazy journey. It's been one of those sports where it's been run by the same guys for decades and decades. So you've got to have thick skin. You've got to know what you're doing, and you've got to really go for it. So the team that I've been with, they've been with me since the start. So to see us now on the BBC, it's a pinch
breaking
yourself.
the mould, isn't it?
It's
really
a pinch yourself moment.
Yeah, it really is. So obviously, just to reiterate, there will be some fights on the BBC. You still have your pay-per-view or some of the big fights as well. So that means your link with Turkey Al Sheikh will continue.
It will. We've got Eubank Ben coming up on November the 15th provisionally. So obviously Chris is been recovering, resting, and will start his preparations soon for what will be one of the biggest fights, I think, of the year. But he's in a good place, and that event has sort of captured the imagination of the whole. We talk about British boxing exploding. I think that event in particular, with the stories and with the storytelling and the fathers, it just took a life of its own, and I think the rematch is going to be even bigger.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, listen, Ben, it's brilliant, this announcement. As we've been saying many times, just to get new fans on board via free-to-air boxing is simply brilliant. I mean, you see it, in the Olympics every 4 years, something like that, but this will be great. So thank you very much for popping in.
Cheers,
Ben.
It's
early, so we appreciate it. Thank you very much. OK, coming up, we all know you love your fantasy dream team. So who's in Rays? We'll find out next.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
Good morning. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Pleasure to have your company this Friday morning, all with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. It's Natalie Sawyer alongside Ray Singapore Pigeonhead Parlour.
Very good, Natalie.
As we take you through until 10. Right, it's time now for us to select our dream team with the Sun.
Dream Team from the Sun on talkSPORT, the free-to-play fantasy football game where there's a share of $100,000 up for grabs. 18 plus, terms and conditions apply.
Maybe that needs to be your new nickname.
Pigeonhead Parlour.
All right, Pigeonhead, how you doing? The thing is, there'll be people listening going, what are they talking about? Pigeonheads. Anyway, right, over the next week, 11 different talkSPORT presenters are going to be selecting 11 players for their dream team from the Sun. We've each got a budget of £50 million for a goalkeeper, defenders, midfielders, and at least one striker. So, Ray, it is now your chance to tell us who you have chosen for your dream team.
Okay, well, I've spent a lot of money on the strike force, obviously. A lot of people do that. So in goal, I've gone for an old ex-Arsenal player, Leno.
Yep.
Obviously, good goalkeeper, all solid. Fulham, good little team, Fulham, isn't they? I love Fulham, so they're good. Wan-Bissaka, West Ham.
Nice.
Who had a really good season last year. Very, very good. De Cooper from Brighton is he's a left back. And I've got Nico Williams from Forest. So I'm just going by the money wise. Williams is $3.5 million. De Cooper's $3 million. Wan-Bissaka's $4 million. And my main man at the back, who I love, Saliba.
Of course,
Saliba. He's got to be an Arsenal player in that centre half. Who's a Rolls Royce of a player. We know
that's not bad.
He can score a few goals as well from set plays. My midfield are very strong. I like my midfield.
Go on, tell us.
Well, let's start with the lowest valued player, James from Leeds. I think he's really exciting. Runs at players. You know, he's a big season for him. Yeah. Daniel James for Leeds United. Mason Mount Manchester United, he's had a very good pre-season, Mason Mount, and I think it could be his chance to stay injury-free this season. He's £3 million. And then my main two, I've gone with Cole Palmer, obviously Chelsea, who's, you know, we know how good he is, 6 million.
Yep.
And Saka, 6.5 million as well.
Okay.
Bukayo's in my team.
And they're two quite expensive ones that you put.
I ain't got Dowman yet, but it's maybe in a few years I won't be there.
Yeah. What about you?
And up front, I'm hoping he has a wonderful season. Gyökeres from Arsenal, £6 million, and Mo Salah.
Oh,
£7.5 million.
Standard. I mean, he must be the most, mustn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's got to be.
I think
I don't know what Haaland is.
Yeah,
what's Haaland? He's going to be around that sort of figure as well.
Similar, but because of...
He doesn't get injured, does he, Salah?
No,
he just
there is AFCON to consider.
Oh, no.
But the good thing is you can obviously...
You can change him, can't you?
Yeah, substitutes and transfers.
Well, I'll make sure I change him then during that period.
As long as you're active and aware.
But that's my team.
That's a good team.
Let's see how they go. I think Mason Mount's very cheap, £3 million.
3 million.
And, you know, he set his standards at Chelsea. He hasn't worked out so far, but he's had a good pre-season, so I think he could be value in that midfield area.
Yeah, he's got a few goals towards the end of last season for Manchester United. So, yeah, I get where you're coming from with that one.
Saka, Palmer, my main two, obviously in midfield.
That's
he can bang. We need Saka to get 10. Palmer, can he get 20? Could do.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. It's not a bad team, that at all. But I do wonder, did you start with Salah? You sometimes have to start with the most expensive, I think, and then you build around them.
Yeah. Obviously, the defenders are going to be cheap, aren't they? Yeah. Well, we've got a couple of cheap midfielders, James, and, you know, nothing against James, but...
Bargains, let's say.
Yeah, he's got a couple of goals here and there. Assists, I'll be hoping for Daniel James, and Mason Mount might chip him a few goals. So.
And I always think with a keeper, as much as you want a good, you know... not to concede many goals, you want them to pull off a lot of shots because you're going to get points.
Yeah, Leno's pretty good shot stopper.
Yeah, exactly. So, there you go.
I'm going to see how that goes.
Not a bad team, Ray. Not a bad team.
Have you done yours yet, Natalie?
Not yet. I might have to steal a few.
How many Brentford players are in it?
Well, I don't know, who's left. That was Ray's 11 chosen players for their dream team from the Sun.
Dream Team from the Sun on talkSPORT. Download the Dream Team app or visit dreamteamfc.com. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yes, following us from 10, it is Sam Matterface alongside the former Watford captain Troy Deeney and birthday boy Alex Crook, who is
Happy birthday, Alex.
Studio. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Where's the Cobra bombs, Alex? Come on, get him lined up.
The producer did threaten that.
Let's talk about
He did threaten that.
We had one once, didn't we, Natalie?
It was disgusting.
I tell you what, we'll have one wash down. We'll have a pigeon head, and then we'll wash it down with a
toss up though, Cobra bomb or a pigeon head. I think I'd go with the Cobra bomb.
Oh yeah, you got to go with the Cobra.
I think I could handle a Cobra bomb.
Oh, you could. We should have done one, Alex.
Well, okay. We apologise for not having that organised.
Next year.
Right. There's a lot for you to talk to us about, I guess, with lots of transfer activities going on. Do we want... Sorry, Ollie. I'm trying to signal to my producer. Do you want to hear it from now? Before we get to all the very latest transfer news, Arne Slot has been speaking ahead of the Community Shield on Sunday. That is live on talkSPORT. As you can imagine, his press conference has had a fair few questions about Alexander Isak. This is what he's had to say.
As you know from me, and I think every manager works like this, you never talk about players that are not yours. So I can talk to you about Hugo, which we've signed recently and has done really well till now. We are very happy with the squad we are having. And there's every reason to be happy about that because we won the league last season. Okay, players left, but we've brought players in as well. And youngsters are doing good. So at this moment of time, Darwin might leave indeed, but things are not signed yet. So you need to wait maybe a few days before that's completely done. But there is indeed a chance that he's going to leave.
Okay, which we're expecting, aren't we? With Darwin Núñez.
Yeah, that deal will get done. And it's interesting that sources at Liverpool were telling us yesterday they would only recruit a replacement for Núñez if they believed he was of top level and could go straight into the team. Yeah. So it was basically Alexander Isak's CV. So Newcastle are trying to get deals done. I think they're more confident now that they're going to get Johan Wissa.
They're in the market for other strikers as well. I know talks have taken place between Newcastle and Nicholas Jackson's advisors. I think they're going to need 2 in to sanction this Isak deal. But as I sit here now...
Will it definitely happen, Isak?
I don't think it's a definite.
What happens if he doesn't go in the window? It's going to be so awkward, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you don't really want a player there who don't want to be there.
No, and they've got a friendly this weekend. He's not going to feature in that. Obviously, he was ordered to stay away from the team barbecue, which I think is a sign of Eddie Howe's frustrations.
Yeah.
I sense that Eddie Howe has now come to the realisation that actually if we can get big money for Isak and we can replace him, maybe the time is right to cash in rather than, as you say, deal with an unhappy player for at least the next 6 months until the window opens in January.
Yeah, and it all
a couple of players as well, Raheem Sterling, Chelsea, and Chilwell. Would you see them going anywhere?
I think they'll
Certainly
definitely go.
Chilwell.
Yeah, well, Sterling's an interesting one because there's a bit of interest from the Premier League. West Ham, I think he had a good relationship with Graham Potter when he was briefly manager at Chelsea, Palace and Fulham as well. Keeping tabs on the situation, and I was told by somebody close to Sterling that staying in London would be his preferred option, so definitely one to keep an eye on. And you think maybe one of them newly promoted clubs might go for Chilwell for a bit of experience at the back.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about the latest on Benjamin Sesko, who we knew was obviously linked with Newcastle, but it does seem as though he's heading to Manchester United?
Yeah, the agreement was reached between the two clubs yesterday. It's £66 million plus add-ons. He's flown over to Manchester to undergo his medical. They've got a friendly against David De Gea's Fiorentina tomorrow, and I think the plan is they'll unveil Šeško on the pitch at Old Trafford tomorrow afternoon.
Are you excited, Alex, of being a Man United fan? Do you think it's been a good window so far?
I do, and I'm quietly optimistic, and I'm getting shot down from all sides. I think they'll finish in the top 5, United. I think the top 4 is difficult because I think Liverpool...
You had a Cobra Bomber with
Liverpool, City, Chelsea and Arsenal look pretty much cemented in the top 4. But I think if you look at those clubs from last season, if Newcastle lose Isak, I think it's going to be difficult to replicate what they did. Villa haven't really done much in the market because of PSR. Teams like Brighton have sold João Pedro. So I think there's an opportunity for United. Yeah. And the big issue last year, Ray, was the goals. Yeah. They didn't score enough goals. And they've addressed that. They've brought in 3 players at the top end of the pitch who I think will improve them.
Okay, but there still should be outgoings at Manchester United. Alejandro Garnacho?
I think Chelsea bound. I think he's been told for a while now, just stay patient and we'll come in for you at some stage. The fee will be interesting because Manchester United is still looking for £50 million. It was £60 million in January, so their valuation has come down a bit. I think Chelsea will try and do that for less, but I think it's pretty clear that Garnacho wants to go to Stamford Bridge. United fans will be divided. There's a lot of people who think maybe it's a missed opportunity. I'm of the belief that maybe Garnacho is not quite as good as he thinks he is and acts, and maybe it's best just to get him out of the dressing room.
Okay, and there's also a link with Carlos Baleba?
Yeah, loose link. Okay. I mean, he's on their list, but Brighton have made it pretty clear they won't sell in this window. I think what United are doing here is probably laying the foundations for a big bid next summer. But I think if he has a good season, Baleba, they'll be asking for Caicedo-type money this time next year.
Yeah. Very much so. Alex, thank you.
Cheers.
Enjoy your birthday.
I
Yes.
will. Thank you very much.
Coming up, we are going to find out from Ray why he believes Newcastle are seemingly unable to get any of their signings over the line. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Natalie Sawyer and Ray Holiday Parlour. This might be that's what it says here. This might be the kind of sound that you're used to in the Caribbean, for example. But did you know that the UK, in fact, is the place to be this weekend? Because, believe it or not, Britain will be hotter than Barbados as a 33-degree summer heat wave engulfs our bonny shore.
I very rarely go away in July.
You were saying this to me.
Yeah, I like England.
The weather
England's
is so nice.
fantastic. Look, I'm sure there's lots of people going down to the coast this weekend and, going places like Cornwall, Somerset, all them sort of Weymouth and all down that, even down Brighton. It's a lovely country when the weather's proper.
Yeah.
And I don't see me leaving to go to another hot country when it's hot here already.
I know.
I'd rather go in October, November.
When it's cold here and you can go for warm
Exactly.
times.
February, January's a dead month.
And I think somewhere like the Caribbean would be very open to a Cobra bomb. So why not?
Well, it'd be a Banks bomb.
A Banks bomb.
There you go.
It would.
Barbados.
Yes, that's right.
Banks Brewery.
That's
I've been
right.
round. It's very, very good.
Ah, very good. There you go.
Banks bomb.
So yeah, it's there you go. It's going to be very warm here, so make sure you're well prepared for it. Right, let's finish with a bit of this.
Oh, and Wimbledon have moved out. And there's no flag from the linesman. Ray Parlour, his first goal for Arsenal.
One touch, get out his feet, boff. What, a nectarine?
Never heard of it.
It's a small, like a little orange.
Is it?
Nectarine.
I don't eat oranges.
Mark Overmars had this little fart machine.
What?
With a button. He goes,
Pardon? Who is Gunnosaurus? Who is he to you?
What?
Is he related to you?
No. My brother is married to his daughter, but they're not together now. They've more or less split up.
Do they have an Invincible on Drive? I don't think so.
That's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's time now for Yay or Nay, Ray.
Yeah, it's that time on a Friday morning where we put some of the day's biggest topics to resident Premier League Invincible Ray Parlour. And we all know you meant Satsuma.
Yes,
That's what you meant.
Nectarines are lovely as well.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, but I just got it. It's like a peach, isn't it? Nectarine?
Yes, the peach is the fuzzy cousin of a nectarine.
Yeah, you're right.
Right, all you have to do when asked a question is give us a yay or a nay and then tell us why. So, number one, we'll start with your club. And Christian Norgard, who has started 3 out of Arsenal's 4 pre-season games, scoring in Wednesday's 3-2 defeats to Villarreal. Afterwards, he told talkSPORT's The Moose just how excited he is to get started in a Gunners shirt.
No, it's like, of course, after today, there's still some things we need to improve. So I think the 10, 11 days will be good for us to sharpen the last bits, and then we're ready to go.
You've had a good career in the Premier League so far. This is taking it up another level, isn't it?
No, it is, definitely. But I feel like I'm ready for this step and ready to play at this stage. So I can't wait to get going.
Still looks a bit weird to me. But anyway, more used to him in the red and white stripe.
Yeah.
Will he be a hit for Arsenal?
I think definitely. I think he's a very good player, very consistent, experienced, and he knows he's not going to be first choice, but I think he's going to bring a lot to the squad itself. I think he's a really good character for the squad as well. And he was captain at, obviously, your club, Brentford, so he knows how to be a leader as well. And the more leaders you have in the team and around the team, the better you're going to be. So I think he's a brilliant signing.
And a snip as well.
Yeah, for the money as well. I mean, they look after themselves, their bodies these days, and he's still fit and he still can get around the park. He's still mobile, still efficient. So I think it was a no-brainer for Mikel to get him. And a really good lad. I had a chat with him when I was on tour. He loves his golf.
Yes,
so
he does.
He was off to the golf course with Declan Rice. So them two will be buddies, I'm sure.
Yes.
Going forward, the golf buddies. But yeah, I think he's a brilliant signing.
Yeah.
And he will bring a lot to the club.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And
he's done brilliant at Brentford. He's fantastic.
Terrific he was at Brentford.
He was,
Scores the odd goal here and there, especially at set pieces.
He's not there to do that, really.
No, but I'm saying he offers that as well.
Yeah, which he did the
from
other
set
day.
pieces. Yeah, exactly. But of course, we know he's that defensive midfielder.
Defensive midfielder, efficient, keeps the ball moving.
Yeah.
I was a little bit like that. Win the ball back, give it to the better players.
And that's what he'll do.
That's what you got to do.
All right. We've been speaking all morning about Max Dowman, the Arsenal star that you also were speaking in Singapore to. The question is, Ray, if City bid £200 million for him today, would you sell him?
Nay, definitely not.
200 million?
200 million? Well, that is a lot of money. You could. It's a stupid question, really, because they wouldn't bid 200 million.
No.
But I really hope he can stay at Arsenal. I really hope he develops like I've seen it so far. And the good news is his dad's a big Arsenal fan, so
Yeah.
that's always helps.
So just
Always
clarify,
helps.
people haven't seen him. What's his position? What does he do?
Well, he can play off the right-hand side. He can play as a number 10. He's got the physique. He's certainly got the pace. He's got that turner pace, which is so important. He can twist and turn. He's really good at going past players. And I just, he's such an exciting prospect. I know I've spoke a lot about him this morning, but I'm very excited about his future. Again, there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of hard work he's got to do. But certainly, if he can improve like he has done so far, and not be fazed by the big players at his age, 15 and a half. Remember, that's what people can't realise, that he's only 15 and a half. He's 16 in December. Then he could be a real star of the future, not just for Arsenal, but for England as well. Which would be brilliant.
Now, we were hearing there from Crookie that Benjamin Sesko is, perhaps going to be unveiled as a Manchester United player this weekend. He has chosen United over Newcastle. The question, I suppose, for you, and there's a couple on this, but the first one, would players be more likely to sign for Newcastle if they had a more prestigious manager than Eddie Howe? Yay or nay?
I would say nay. No, I think Eddie's he's a top manager. Newcastle's a massive club. We all know the support they have. The financial side of it now. The owners of the club as well. I think it has progressed, hasn't it? Since the new owners come in. Look, now they're always going for that top four, Champions League football in Newcastle. So
what
I think it's quite an attractive club to go to.
Yeah.
I
So
really
why
do.
is it not working for some of these?
Well, whether it's financial side of it, wages side of it, I'm not too sure. Isak, I don't know what the argument there, what sort of wages he wanted. He probably wants $300,000 a week now for what he can get probably at Liverpool. Whether the wages are an issue, I don't know. But I think Newcastle is a good place to go and play football. Very passionate supporters. As I said before, they're always competing now for that Champions League, which is progress in the club itself. And I would certainly be, if a club like Newcastle come in for me, I would certainly look at it and say, look, it could be a possibility. So I don't know why players are not signed at Newcastle.
Something's not quite clicking there, but you might be right. It could be wages at the end of the day. Finally, we know that you in Hong Kong sampled some pigeon and some snake as well. The question is, have you got the bug for it? Will you be catching pigeons and snakes and barbecuing
Catch the
them?
pigeon.
Catch the pigeon.
Look, as I said before, Natalie, I don't mind trying any sort of food, but I won't be trying it again. You always try something, and you might like it, you might not. But the pigeon it just a bit off-putting, if I'm being honest. When it put in front of me, I was like, "What's that?" It's got some head. It's got a head and beak, and you imagine how crunchy it would be.
No, I don't want to imagine it. Certainly not. Neither of us had breakfast. I
did have a little nibble of the leg instead. It was a little bit dry, but
pigeon leg.
And the snake was very simple. Look, I like jelly deals. I don't know if you like jelly deals.
Nope.
No,
Nope, definitely don't want that either, thanks.
jelly deals. I think snake was very similar to that.
Okay.
So that's not too
of the
bad.
two, that's what you'd go for again.
Snake would be better. Snake and chips. I'll go for.
I'll just stick to my chicken breast, thank you. Right, Ray, it's been a pleasure.
Natalie,
thank
absolutely
you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
On the way next, it's Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Troy Deeney. Jess Selling and Ali McCoy are back with you on Monday.
I love that guy.
everyone knows there are 20 managers in the Premier League, yeah? Well, actually, no. Around 3/4